Welcome back to OtakuDaiKun. We are going to begin the journey that is Fate Hollow Ataraxia. Thank you all, especially for those who have stuck with me through all of the visual novel, or as much as they could. It's quite a work as well. Right when you're about to eat. Aw, I'm sorry. Yes, I have all the routes on my channel right now. It's all under one big Fate Stay Night playlist, and each of the videos is labeled with, like, HF, UBW, or Fate. You hate Sakura, but she's not even a primary focus of Heaven's Feel. Huh. He said he was afraid of the night. City of Shinto. Kurokizaka, District 2, Block 4, Semina Apartments, 11th floor, Room 2. Did I play all the VNs? I played the entire visual novel of Fate Stay Night. And now we're doing Hollow Ataraxia. That's where he lived. His name was, well, let's just call him Mr. A. Mr. A was a student, and having just turned 20, had moved in at the beginning of the spring. This is the first time he ever moved, the first time he ever lived by himself, and the first time he was in an unfamiliar neighborhood. While Mr. A... Oh, you skipped Heaven's Feel. Yeah, no, that's fine. You can skip Heaven's Feel. For some reason, I thought you said H.A. I don't know why. While Mr. A, an introvert by nature, still felt lost, he was adjusting to life in Fuyuki. Gradually. Mr. A was comfortable being alone in the first place, and never seemed to care much about having few friends or living amongst strangers. Rather, he preferred things that way. Mr. A, who would shut himself in his room, apparently liked not having his new life disturbed by anyone, be it friends or family. Mr. A was satisfied with his life, except for two things. The long, long hallway leading to the entrance, and the hopeless thoughtlessness of the family that moved in next door 1 month prior. What was bothering, no, what was unsettling him began since he moved into the apartment in spring. What his parents had set up for him was a... Oh, they're not going to tell us the actual monthly 4-bedroom apartment. The size was nothing to complain about. While Mr. A loved being alone, he had an inclination towards luxury, and didn't favor living plainly. When it came to the dwelling, the bigger the better. To someone like him who hated the outside world, this place was a fortress. Sounds like me. It had to be large and solid. It couldn't be easy to reach. He couldn't relax if it wasn't impenetrable. Yeah, Merlin got himself screwed over. That's right. It wasn't that Mr. A liked being alone. Looks like he about to fall asleep. Says who? It was the issue of others being near. He was unconsciously afraid of someone other than himself intruding into his space. There was another reason why Mr. A chose Semina Apartments. It was the distance from the living room to the door. The long hallway was the first and last obstacle to pass through in order to enter and leave the apartment. The 4-meter-long hallway stretched in a straight line from the living room to the door. There were neither storage rooms nor a bathroom along the way. It was an unusual hallway for an apartment to have, but it seems Mr. A took a liking to it for its length. It took up the ideal amount of space, It was an ideal entryway. The far-off separation from the entrance was not so much a medium between inside and outside, it was more of an ambiguous boundary. It was unnatural. One could say that hallway itself was the real entrance. However, once he began living there, something about the hallway started to worry him. You know, I really like the Goblin Slayer manga. The first episode was aight. I have a video coming next week that compares the two. So you can decide for yourself which one you think the art style dominates. The second episode of Goblin Slayer was interesting, but again, just not nearly as well presented as the manga. I don't care about the characters as much as I did in the manga. And, man, that credit sequence is boring as fuck. After being puzzled for several months, he finally figured it out. It was simple. The long hallway had no lights. It looked like a structural flaw had left no space to install any lights. The hallways of the other apartments had them, but only in room 2, floor 11, were they forgotten. How stupid. Not the worker that forgot to install lights, but himself, who had noticed only after living there for several months. Yes, Fate Extella Link is gonna be wonderful. Come to think of it, he had already made a wrong turn the moment he had failed to realize what was amiss. Fall came and new tenants moved in next door. They were the kind of happy family you could find anywhere. A young married couple and a 3-year-old daughter. The only contact he had with them, was limited to a simple greeting when they were moving in. All Mr. A knew about them was their surname, and their daughter's name. Semina Apartments is an L-shaped building, with only 2 apartments on each floor. That's kinda crazy. Then again, Japanese buildings are high-rise. Very small and high-rise. Like a mall. Has various floors as opposed to just big, long, open space. At the center is the entrance to the building, and each apartment occupies the entire horizontal or vertical part of the L. At the entrance, there is a door leading to the elevator in the emergency stairwell. Sometimes Mr. A would meet the couple at the entranceway, but on rare occasions he saw the daughter alone by herself. Whenever they met, she would say that. The elevator buttons were slightly above her height. It was not too high for her to reach, but for some reason she never raised her hand above her shoulders. While he thought it was strange that a 3-year-old girl would go out by herself, he did what the girl asked. And he would see her not just on the 11th floor, but also the entrance to the 1st floor. He would find the girl crouching in front of the elevator as he was coming home or leaving. She would raise her head and say, looking up at him, "Won't you push the button for me?" After having the exchange over and over again, Mr. A learned the girl's name. He did not remember it, however, perhaps because Mr. A had no interest in other people. Instead, he called her Little Red Riding Hood, because she always wore a red hood. I'll say it again, Mr. A was an introverted young man. As long as his lifestyle wasn't threatened, he didn't care about the outside world. Hello! Be it, for example, an argument heard from the other side of the wall, the sound of a little girl crying every other day, a woman's screams that could only be described as shrieking, the girl not being able to raise her arm above her shoulders due to neglected bone fracture, oh shit, or her wearing a red hood to hide her bruises on her face because her father told her to, well, the stuff that only concerns other people. That's fucked up. Mr. A is actually Ayaka Sanjo. Right. Who the fuck is Ayaka? Let me take a look, because you're absolutely right. I forgot they did that. Oh, really? Huh. Really? Interesting. That's fascinating. So Mr. A isn't Mr. A at all. Was she really that reclusive? It was, after all, a long haul. The source of the screaming was several meters away, and he inevitably had to ignore it while watching TV. But on that night, it was especially loud. A blood-curdling scream. Then siren-like crying. The sound of a door being opened violently, reverberating in the entranceway. Hello, Alexander Chen. Or, yeah, I guess it's Chen. I apologize if I butcher anyone's names. Well, thank you. Also, for those who do not know, this is being simul-streamed on both YouTube and Twitch, for those who prefer. Then the sound of something banging on Mr. A's door. That night had been aggravating to Mr. A, who had been quietly enjoying a late-night broadcast at 2 a.m. He was about to get up and then asked them to behave like reasonable human beings. And so get up he did, but soon sat back down. It'll probably end up soon anyway. I've been excited to do Hollow Ataraxia because there's a lot of free choice as to where you go and what you do in this game. It doesn't really have like good and bad endings necessarily that you're not supposed to get. So everything in this is going to be stream choice. The affairs were none of Mr. A's business. Butting in at this point would have him overly involved, but he avoided thinking about it. Whatever it is, it's their own responsibility. People ought to handle their own problems by themselves, and so Mr. A took the remote and raised the volume by 5 bars. By the end of the night, as he was turning off the TV and falling asleep, the usual nighttime silence had finally returned. The next day, Mr. A learned that there had been a family suicide next door. It was the first time he had ever been questioned by the police. The night before, after having an argument, Mrs. Blank murdered Mr. Blank with a blade. After slashing her only daughter, she took her own life. When asked about it, "I slept like a log and didn't hear anything," was Mr. A's answer. The officer thanked Mr. A for his cooperation and was about to leave. As he was walking away, Mr. A asked just one question.
一人娘はどうなったのでしょう?
Lowering his eyebrows, the officer replied,
凶器には血液反応が残っていますから、刺されたことに間違いはありません。血痕からして致命傷であったと考えられます。
Except the young officer muttered uncomfortably.
遺体がないんですよ。
Oh. Oh, different. Ah, you're right. Fate Strange Fake. Different Ayaka. Okay. So I know almost nothing about this Ayaka. That's interesting. Oh, you're right. They're describing the Semina apartments and everything. Wow. Okay. Well, thank you for that awesome information. So yes, no, this is not the Fate prototype character. This is the chick from Fate Strange Fake, who also has the same name, which is mildly frustrating to say the least. Like all the Shikis there are.
部屋にも逃げ出した後のエントランスにも。
What happened was simple. After being stabbed by her mother, The Little Red Riding Hood seems to have managed to escape into the entryway. At that point, however, the trail stops. The bloodstains stop in front of the elevator.
なぜエレベーターを使わなかったんでしょうね。いえ、そもそもどうして隣室のあなたに助けを求めなかったのか。いくら錯乱していたからってチャイムを押すぐらいはできたでしょうに。
No. What about 8, 9, 10, and 11 of October 2004? Mr. A couldn't bring himself to say that either button was far out of the girl's reach. The officer left, and Mr. A remained standing in the doorway, deep in thought. 2 o'clock at night, he pictured the little girl, escaped from her crazed mother, but unable to leave the entryway, desperately banging on Mr. A's door on the verge of collapse, with a tear-stained face. And in the end, the girl's body was never found. Several days passed. Late at night, always at the same time, Mr. A started noticing a strange noise. Is it me, or most people who become servants die having to do something with sex? I mean, Achilles, his death never had anything to do with sex. Necessarily. But yeah, there are a good amount of them that died because of that. Avisebron didn't die because of sex. The noise itself wasn't loud. If he didn't pay attention to it, it was almost inaudible. At first, Mr. A didn't think about what it could be. He told himself that it was just wind shaking the window. Same thing with Gilga, he never died because of sex. But the noise came back every night. Bang, bang. It was a noise that was faint enough to be non-existent, yet it was getting on his nerves. When he realized that the noise wasn't from the window, but rather echoing in the hallway. Mr. A walked down the long hallway and brought himself to the door. So yes, what they're describing isn't actually Mr. A, but happens to also be Ayaka Saggio? Okay, that's how it is. Ayaka Saggio from Fate, Strange Fake. He asked who it was through the intercom. No response. The moment Mr. A came up to the door, the noise, which had been so soft moments ago. He looked outside through the peephole. Around distorted view, nobody was there, just a clean-looking entryway. Nothing except red specks on the cream-colored floor that... His eardrums felt like they were going to burst. There was no one in the entrance, but the noise did not stop. Mr. A tried to look deeper into the peephole. Maybe there was someone there. Maybe he couldn't see at this angle. The noise continued. Wait. There was something under the peephole, just outside of his view. Open it. Something red, wearing a hood, was clinging onto the door. Oh! He ran back down the long hallway. The clock was showing 2 a.m. Those late-night visits became a routine event. The noise continued every night. Mr. A never opened the door. Then, one night, it happened again. It was just insignificantly quiet, but he could have just brushed it off as being part of his imagination. But now, it had been an unavoidable angst that had strained his brain, cutting away at his nerves like a blade. With each day, Mr. A's mind was being cornered. It was the end of autumn. He could now hear it no matter what time it was. That night, he came to a decision. He would see for himself what was clinging to the door. He walked down the long hallway. The light from the entryway leaked in from behind the door, passing through the unlit corridor. Open it! He pushed the door open. There was nothing there. There was no one there. That painful knocking that had been echoing in his skull was gone as well. Of course, there was nothing. Something that ridiculous couldn't be true. There had never been any noise. There had never been a red hood. Laughter and relief mixed together. His chilled body rapidly regained its warmth. He had just been hearing things. Somehow it seemed that incident had gotten to him. Without realizing it, he had felt guilty and developed paranoia. Hello! But that was all over. It all ended the moment he opened the door. Whew. Wiping sweat off his forehead, he closed the door. Once he had locked the door, he raised his head. Before his very eyes. Down the long, dark hallway that he had been so fond of. His eyes widened. In the middle of the corridor, there was something wearing a red hood. A familiar dead body. It seemed to be pleading at him. Somehow Mr. A knew that it would be the last thing he would hear before his death. From within the darkness, its lips moved, like a watermelon that had been bored into a knife with a knife. With a blood-stained voice, the little Red Riding Hood spoke to him.
お兄ちゃん、ボタン。
パンチパンチパンチパンチ！なんだよそれつまんねえよ！っていうかなんでそんなに演出家なんだ実際！道つりデテール凝りすぎ芝居うますぎあと話長すぎ！そもそもなんだよその絵師！そんなにヤバい状態になったら引っ越せ！もう引っ越せよ！
I'm so glad this got full voice acting. I haven't played it all with voices, so I'm super excited. October 11th, past midnight, in a guest room at the Ryudo Temple. Makidera Kaide's shrieking voice resounds through the fall sky.
引っ越せって、それができたら苦労しないでしょ。あんただってあんな家出てってやるなんて言ってもう何年よ。人間ね、多少の不安より愛着を取るもんなの。みんながみんな幽霊一匹で住処を移してたら、今頃この島はもぬけの殻になってるわ。
眼蓄のある言葉だ。なるほど。我々と階段は切っても切れぬ関係にある。時に牧寺、長廊下のお釈師様は健在か？
いいねっつーの！我が家にそんな偉そうなやつはいないね。あと夜中になったら雨降ってないのに廊下が水に濡れたりもしないね。祖先が瀬戸内で海賊なんてやってもいないね。
そっか。牧寺んとこも古い家だったっけ？何？廊下の話は鬼門だった？
No, I have not played it.
うるさい！廊下なんて怖くねえ。最新のおしゃれなマンションに引っ越して。
Am I going to do CCC? Is there like an emulated patch of the English translation? If so, I might actually do that.
で、その鬼門ってなんだ？新しいチャクラか？
チャクラを知っていてなぜ鬼門を知らん？鬼門というのは良くない方角、強調を表す言葉だ。細かく言うのなら北東の方角、つまり
Ryudo Issei, the son of Ryudo Temple's head monk and the president of the student council. Issei, who came with us as a supervisor in this official role, briefly glances at me.
おお、さすが寺の息子。ちゃんとしてんじゃん、そういうとこ。けど今はお断り。私が聞きたいのはもっとコスモな話なわけ。
When Fate Hollow Ataraxia originally came out, there was no voice acting. They added that when it was released on the PlayStation Vita. And so people retroactively took that voice acting and patched it into the old PC game.
ほら、もっとさ、 父さん家には江戸時代に隕石が落ちてたとか、冬木の地下には大空洞があるとか、そういう現実的な話をしろよな。
I'm sure I could find a way, if it were out there.
いや、今のは十分に現実的な話だったと思うが、先ほどの実話だが、廊下で少女と出会ったということは、真犯人は A 氏で、廊下の壁に死体を隠蔽していたという話だろう。
カネちゃん、それも階段とは筋が違うと思う。
現実的な話をしろって言われてもね。怪談話を何だと思ってるのよ、牧寺は。まあとんでも話なら遠坂の管轄だから待ってればいいの聞けるんじゃない？
それはありません。牧寺さん好みのとんでも話は知りませんから。
Tosaka counters elegantly. That's her usual manners at this sort of gathering.
そりゃ失礼。じゃあマトは？1年の誰かがマト首相はああ見えてすごく
The voice patch is pretty new. I think within the last year.
私ですか？別に怖い話が好きなんじゃなくて階段に強いだけなんですけど。ところで三つ釣り先輩、そんなこと言ったのは誰でしょうか？そういうところが怖いんだって気づきなさい、さくら。
She lets out quietly. No one here knows that Tosaka-rin and Mato Sakura are sisters yet.
和むのはいいが、まだ始まったばかりだろ。
Where can you download the patch? I think it's literally one of the first things that gets shown up on Google. I think it's through a Wikipedia article.
続けるのか続けないのか。俺としてはこれ以上牧寺が騒ぐのなら会を中止させなくてはならないのだが。
So for those who don't know, what we're essentially watching is a neutral route, like a neutral conclusion to Fate. Fate Stay Night, the visual novel. It pretty much supposes that neither Fate, Unlimited Blade Works, nor Heaven's Feel is by itself the official canon ending, because it somehow kind of has everybody alive and well and happy, and we'll understand a little bit more of that going in as to why, but yeah.
そうよね。眠ってるお坊さんたちにいい迷惑だし、牧寺がもう叫ばないっていうなら続けましょう。
騒いでないじゃん。三つ釣りの話がつまんないからダメ出ししただけじゃんかよ。
問題はそのダメ出しが次にもあるかということでしょうね。牧寺さんに我慢しろというのは呼吸をするなということと同義だから割と絶望的だけど、どう牧寺さん、呼吸止められる？
Yes, for some reason Kira is absolutely 100% dead, which is kind of awesome.
止められる。
Which means you won't have to fall asleep anymore listening to his nonsense.
だそうですので、このまま続けましょう。
You're right, it's better to say that it's a sequel to all three routes simultaneously because it makes mention of and notice to all the developments that happened in them.
大丈夫、無理に怖がらせようと思わなくていいから。綾子のは実際あった話を脚色したたちの悪い話でね。牧寺さんが怖がったのはセミナマンションの事件を知っていたからだろうし。そうなんですか？
うん。セミナマンションの一家心中は実際にあった話だ。その1ヶ月後、隣室の青年も行方不明になり、捜索願いが出ているのも事実だぞ。
When does Rin say that she's Sakura's sister? That's all in Heaven's Feel.
エースの兄ちゃんはなんか理由あって自分探しに旅立ったんだよ。素敵なサムシングなんだよ。いつか一回りでっかくなって帰ってくるんだよ。もうそんなかっこいい兄ちゃんにおかしな失踪理由でっち上げるた なんて少年の腐った女だ、三辻綾子。
Yeah, I love Fate Hollow Ataraxia, so this is going to be real exciting for everyone.
ああ、同じマンションの住人が言うのだから間違いない。そうだろう、三辻嬢。
そういう話だからね。とまあ、私ほど脚色せずとも実際にあった噂話だけで十分ってこと。牧寺は怖がりだからね。三枝さんもその線で攻めてみるといいよ。誰かに聞いたお化けの話とかない？
あ、それなら何個かあります。皆さん、窓辺の幽霊って知ってますか？何それ、私は初耳。お化け洋館の人影ですよね。弓道部の1年生たちが話してたような。
Yes, Mitsuzuri does look like Shiki.
お化け洋館です。何でも冬木のどこかに使われていない洋館があって、夜中に近づくと2階の窓辺からこうじーっと見つめてくる人影があるそうです。
Yes, Ryogi Shiki.
ああ、人影ってどんな人影よ、ゆきっち。つうかさ、冬木のどこかにある洋館って何？
それは私も知らないんだけど、あんまり人が寄りつかないお屋敷じゃないかな。実際見た人がいるらしいんだけど、たまたま道に迷った時に洋館を見つけたんだって。なんでも周りは木ばっかりで人気がなくて、洋館の2階にいたお化けは女の人だったとか。
何それ、人気のない洋館で女が1人？そんなの遠坂んちじゃん。遠坂、あんたんちお化け屋敷にされてるぞ。
そうなのかな。ごめんなさい遠坂さん、この話って遠坂さんちのことだったの？謝らないで三枝さん。うちがご近所からそういった扱いを受けているのは今に始まったことじゃないし、牧寺さんのような言われなき中傷にもなっていますから。
Baseless slander wouldn't be entirely accurate. The Tosaka residence is actually a type of haunted house.
じゃあこの話はやめて信徒の話にします。最近夜になると信徒の空に何か大きな糸みたいのが見える
Hello, Armor TV.
話なんですけど。
Unsure of herself, Saigusa Yukika looks at the crowd. I'd say that she's looking for witnesses.
その糸みたいなのが何なのか見たことある人います？
話だけは聞いてるが、あいにくとまだ怪異には出会っていない。
空って夜空？そのセンタービルの屋上に人影が立っていたなんて話じゃないわよね。
具体的な例えだね。そりゃセンタービルの
The red figure on top of the center building is Tosaka.
三枝さんの話は別物じゃなくて？
There was something mysterious about the way Mitsuzuri Ayako looks at Tosaka, as if she knows the truth behind that. Tosaka, who prefers wearing red, makes a sour face. It's been half a year since the 5th Holy Grail War ended. I mean, she's probably still patrolling the area at night.
牧寺先輩は見たことありますか？
ない。だがおそらくは UFO。
私は読めたよ。牧寺、あんたは階段を勘違いしてる。
そうだな。我々がしているのはオカルティックな話であってコズミックな話ではない。牧野氏、気の毒だがいくら待っても君好みなムーンムーン話に出番はないぞ。
読んでない。あんな面白おかしい電波本なんて購読してないよ私。だってあれすっげえつまんねえじゃん。
まあそのつまらないところがある意味たまらないのではあるが。
You hope there aren't any H scenes? There are H scenes, but they're only a small part. Everyone shakes their heads. Unfortunately, there are no witnesses. However, I've been getting this feeling from a little bit ago. How should I put it?
そういう噂話なら俺からも一つ。昔から郊外の森には城が建っているという話があるだろう。それに新説が加わったそうだ。何でも城を目指して森に入ると旧帝国軍の亡霊が現れて
Sure, they're optional, but it's not stopping me. I'll do the same way that I've been doing them.
で、いくつかの関門を乗り越えた勇者だけが幻の城で一泊できてメイド姉妹に解放されるとかなんとか。
竜道くん、何？念願のアイデアで脳みそとろけちゃった？
俺とておかしな話だと思っておるわ。
Crap. This is funny.
エミヤは今の竜道のヨタ話どう思う
Mitsuzuri shifts the conversation to me. Up until now, I've just been an observer. Oh well. I've been keeping my mouth shut because I didn't know how to comment on this, but... No, they didn't voice act the H scenes, much to my dismay. I would have loved that. I really would have loved that. It's not that I have no idea what it might be. Putting that aside for the moment, I feel bad about breaking the conversation, but I've got to go to the bathroom.
誰にも気づからないようにスルッと戻ってくるんで、俺に構わず続けててくれ。
The majority of people are on the YouTube live stream, and I'm chatting with them as well as you simultaneously.
いいところでマキデラを脅かすから。
いいじゃん。やれるもんならやってみな。私も女だ。エミヤにゃ負けられないね。
There goes Makidera, as usual, reacting in a weird way. Ever since I started having lunch with Tosaka, Makidera has been acting like this all the time. It's chilly outside. The night air in the mountains is cold, crisp, unlike in the city. Exposed to the cool air, my unclear head and ambiguous thoughts become more defined, waking me up. Looking up at the night sky, I let out a heavy sigh. I've already walked some 20 meters away from the room. It's not every day that I find myself trying to think about something for no reason in a temple's passage. What should I try contemplating first? Maybe I should try organizing my thoughts on how things ended up being like this. Speaking of the things happening to me recently, there's the story of today's training camp. It involves the upcoming cultural festival. Sakura, who is working hard as the captain of the archery club, Mitsuzuri, who is looking out for her, and the strange relationship with the track and field club. At the end of a complicated argument, little by little, a training camp was being set up for the cultural festival. Issei offered the location, and I was invited as hard labor. Basically, I'm in charge of the food. Life's as hectic as ever, but at least things are peaceful. 6 months ago, there was a battle for the Holy Grail with all the consequences. In that battle, something was lost and something was gained. It's been enough time to look back and reflect on those events. I've settled down. The Holy Grail War is a thing of the past. There is no reason for another conflict to spark in Fuyuki. The Holy Grail is gone. The servants have vanished, the dead won't return, and life continues without problems. So much for your costume, huh, baby? Ari-chan is supposed to be cleaning out the the office room so she can make a costume of Skahak, but she isn't motivated. Instead, she just wants to spend all her money on the materials and never actually put them together.
Not true.
It's not true. Allegedly. There's no reason for these days to change. Oh, there's no need for these days to change. The factors linking them together are almost all there. Linking a similar tomorrow with yesterday and enjoying the slight changes is the proper way of life for a person. I'll say it again. Fate Hollow Ataraxia does not take place specifically at the end of any given route. It's kind of like it happens at the end of all 3 routes combined. It's more of a fan disc in that regard. My thoughts stop. I'm certain there was another reason for the training camp. What? What was that? I'm pretty sure there was something standing towards the corner of my vision just now. In the direction of the temple grounds, it's too far off to get a good look. There is a human figure running towards the back hill. It's probably a monk or somebody from the temple. We aren't the only ones in Ryudo Temple. I really shouldn't be worried by random people. Ari-chan needs more power. Increasing my pace, I jog down the hallway. Whoops. I've just bumped into someone coming from around the corner. My mind freezes. I'm too surprised to even know what I'm surprised about. Caster walks past me. She's refined and sarcastic as always. Could you get the cat off the kitchen, baby? But seeing her face unhooded is quite rare. However, what was I so surprised about? This monologue restarts my frozen mind, and I keep on going. Yes, the only one who's dead is Kirei. Hooray! I clear my head. Having finished my business, I'm back in the guest room. If you guys have been watching Emiya-san Chi no Kyo no Gohan, the Hollow Ataraxia, that's pretty much the closest thing you have to an animated Hollow Ataraxia at the moment. It basically is the same kind of antics, just focused on the food parts, which there always are a lot in Fate. You're right. Heroic Spirit Emiya's circumstances are a little different in this one. Issei's eyes are gleaming. He's like not living with Rin, he's just kind of around. It's kind of weird. I expected no less the son of a monk. When it comes to graveyards, corpses, and karma, he has no rival. It goes without saying how Makidera would react with the ghost story, except Himuro, Mitsuzuri, and even Tosaka are silently getting ready for the conclusion. It's the same with everyone. Hold on, there was something weird just now. Kuzuki-sensei is also quietly listening to Issei's story. Our brave leader, Fujine.
虎はなぜ強いと思う？生まれつき怖い話なんて怖くないからだ。シロウたちは生まれつき怖い話に弱いからそんな特訓をしなければならないのだ。
See you later. She said on the verge of tears. Now she's already asleep. I think this is what they call abdication of leadership. But since she couldn't let a meeting of a crowd of young people in the dark go unmonitored, she asked Kuzuki-sensei to take the reins of authority.
そうして八八は考える死人になった。だが悲しいかな。ようやく八八が母親の名前を呼べるようになった頃、八八は悲しんだ。よみがえったことはさほど嬉しくはない。ただ苦痛に耐えて自分をよみがえらせた母親が不憫でならなかった。そうして八八は自らと同じよう母をよみがえらせようとしたのじゃが、それだけはどうしてもできなかったのじゃ。母が自分に施した茶道を丁寧に繰り返しても、村人たちの肉を二山三山、血を二川三川使おうとも、母は
No, you wouldn't see Angermine you in that. Probably not.
なんでだよ。ゾンビは勝手に増えるじゃんよ。かわいそうだから増やしてやれよ。今時母ちゃんが2人になろうが10人になろうが珍しくないよ。あとなんで口調変わってんだよ、生徒会長。
いいところで水を差すな、負けだろ。この語りは竜道家の決まりなのだ。
Probably not. Ghost stories aren't scary.
さもありなが母親と八八では立ち位置が違ったのじゃ。教会の問題でな。
Well, the great thing about cooking, you know, cooking with the Emiya family, that's not what it's called. But the good thing about that show is that it's not over yet. You just drop a little episode here or there.
それは聖者のみが死者をよみがえらせられるということよ。死者が死者を食ろうて仲間にしたところで生き返らしたことにならぬ。
I think with shows like Ghost Catchers or whatever the fuck they're called, Ghost Hunters or something. It was Ghost Hunters, yeah. Stupid shows like that make it very easy to just say ghosts are dumb. I don't know, Tome. I don't know. That's a good lesson. It is true that the wishes of the dead cannot be granted. It is always the breath of life that causes things to happen. Even if the deceased were to be granted life once again, without a doubt, the dead cannot ever bring back the dead. It has always been like that. Oh, I've seen ghost stories. That's a fun one. Only the living can bring back the dead.
それを知らぬ八八は永遠に血肉を集め続ける。
God, wouldn't that be weird if Zoken and Issei had the same voice actor?
今でも竜道で人の手足を集め続けているという話じゃ。これが冬木に伝わるムクロ塚の八八の影山の臓物墓場の言われである。
Issei ends his tale. The candle is blown out. His turn is over.
今のはそれなりに聞いたわね。寺の息子が寺に泊まっている時に墓場の話をするとは思いませんでした。
Where should I recommend you start the Fate series? Shit. If you're not starting with the visual novel and insist on starting with an anime, then either Unlimited Blade Works or Fate Zero. Hi, boy.
その大人げなさに脱帽です。
今日はこちらの陣地だからな。仏敵を打ちのめすためなら使えるものは何でも使う。
And if you don't mind old school anime, then definitely the 2006 Dean Stay Night. As far as if you really like Fate for Saber, that's the good one to go to. Who's next? The staple of camping trips, ghost stories, would go around in a circle.
ほら、次はエミヤの番。生徒会長の後で大変だろうけど、一つ気合の入ったのを頼むわ。
心配には及びません、三辻先輩。先輩、階段には強いですよ。夏場に藤村先生を脅かすのに効果的ですから。
Everyone's eyes focus on me. I've got a couple of ghost stories on me, but this is the first time I've ever told one to this many people. Mitsuzuri is indeed awesome. Hello! Sasaki Koji bro, or Brojiro. Koji bro. Kind of the same idea. In fact, I don't really like telling stories in the first place. I can't do the weird dramatization, and I can't really tell if they're good or not.
落ち着いてでいいわよ、エミヤくん。いつも通りで、ここが土蔵だと思ってればいいんだから。
Imagine if I'm in my storehouse? Okay. Shirou takes off his pants. Oh well. It's really not like me, but this is a part of the festival. To wrap up this great trip.
それじゃあ、長い話を一つ。
Doing something I usually wouldn't, I start with telling my story for the first time. Heavens Feel Back Night 1. For an unknown period of time, I was crouching down. Not a single moan escapes me. My throat has been pierced by a rotting branch. My tongue was the first to be pulled out. My vocal organs have been carefully destroyed to silence me. I have no body to struggle in pain. My limbs have been completely severed. It's as if only my heart is still living. My body stopped working long ago, but my sense of pain alone has yet to fail me. Living and being in pain are one and the same. As long as I continue to exist, even as only a heart, the pain won't end. For a long time, I have been left in this sunny spot. It is hope at its highest and despair at its deepest. How idiotic. It must have been some detestable figment of my imagination. A misunderstanding coming from my insufficient awareness and inadequate experience. I repeat the cycle of pain and relief. It reminds me of exercise repetitions I supposedly experienced in my childhood. Up to heaven, down to hell, west, east. That's far away, deeper than everyone, like a cradle, a paradise of blooms without an exit. It's not painful to have no limbs, to lose myself bit by bit. I'm just scared. I'm scared of being nothing. I can't bear the lie of ceasing to be anything. If nothing comes from this, then this is nothing more than suffering for the sake of suffering. My body is on the verge of death. While desperately wishing to die, I frantically wish to continue living. That's contradiction. Men of older times call it hell. To be honest, I didn't want to die. For a long time, she was in a state of suspended animation. I hear something. Click, click. It sounds like pebbles hitting each other and is somehow rhythmical, reminding me of a lively polka. With an absent mind, I listen to only that sound. Where am I? I can't remember. No, I don't feel like remembering. My indolence is embarrassing. It's ridiculous how I'm awake, but my mind and will are still asleep. I strain my lumbering head and limbs, and crack the whip at my mulish body. Pushing my arms downwards, I slightly prop up my body that was lying face down. I seem to be on a couch. How long have I been sleeping? When I try to recall where I am in the first place, my forehead is struck by severe pain. I feel dizzy. It's almost like the morning after a bout of heavy drinking. Well, she's Irish. I guess she would know. I have the bad habit of showing off by drinking all night despite being a weak drinker, but luckily, there isn't a trace of alcohol inside me. I was just talking about Goblin Slayer earlier. I love the manga. The anime is a bit disappointing. I've just decided to lower my expectations and keep watching it regardless. While still mentally unfocused and unsteady, I check my surroundings. I ought to be in a mansion. I don't recognize it. I can't recall why I am here and why I've been asleep until now. The sound continues. There's no clock. It's pitch black outside. My gut is telling me it's past midnight. Inside, there's... No, I can't see at all. Not only do my arms and legs feel heavy, but my vision has also been weakened, it appears. I know the layout of the room, but it's too blurry for me to get a good view of it. Still, I attempt to grasp my current situation, and finally... I finally notice that in front of me. Someone is sitting with his back faced towards me. I like the manga. The art style is really nice and fresh. Oh man. It is too dark for my weakened vision, so I can't quite make it out. I can still tell that this is the shadow of a man. The man is sitting and looking downward. He's in a reading posture and pays no notice to me. It looks as if he's engrossed with something. What is he doing? I slowly push myself up and look at his hands. See you later. No one nominated Bizette. I'm not sure. I think she might be in my nominations list, but you're absolutely right. I should correct that. Yeah, I'm definitely getting... I pre-ordered the limited edition Extella Link for PS4. There are 3 different manga of Goblin Slayer? Huh? It was easier for my arms and legs to recover than it was for my mental ability and vision. Once I start moving, my mobility will increase the more I move. It's not a book he's occupied with. I believe it's a picture puzzle? A simple game, with the picture broken up into 16 pieces. One of the pieces is removed, and the rest are shuffled, and then moved into the original block, to bring it back into the original picture, I think? It's an amusement aimed at children that everybody has picked up at least once. He is still occupied with the puzzle. I stop looking at him and raise myself up to a sitting position on the sofa. He says, as if he were an old friend of mine. I'm startled by my mumbled voice. He laughs viciously. His voice is irritating, but I don't feel any anger. Stunned, I look at him in confusion. That question came first. No matter how hard I try, I can't remember why I had been asleep. He furrows his eyebrows. Odd, considering I can't see very well, and points to the corner of the room. There was an old, dull mirror in the corner. Yes, this is Angermainu. I walk up to the mirror on unsteady feet. There isn't any lighting, and the pale moonlight sharpens the darkness. There is a cloudy mirror, abandoned for many, many years, in this god-forsaken mansion. In it, looking at me stunned, is unmistakably myself. My voice slips out. This doesn't make any sense. Why am I startled at seeing the body that I have grown up with for more than 20 years? Dark hair, dark red hair and eyes. An unlikable figure. Hey! Hey! Useful only for intimidating others. An armor of male attire that denies my femininity. Doesn't work, you're still beautiful. This is me, the same plain old Bazette Fraga Mikremitz. And yet, I'm still startled. I can feel that there is something wrong with the figure shown in the mirror. As if there's something extra, as if something that ought to be there is missing. Just as the paradoxical notion entered my mind.
落ち着いたか？なら手っ取り早く殺しに行こう。お互いやられっぱなしは性に合わねえだろ、マスター。
That one word, he erased the small doubt that something was out of place. Master. Why had I forgotten that word? The battle for a miracle, 7 magi putting their lives on the line, the master of the ultimate familiar wielding the Holy Grail. What is my favorite version of Emi as Shirou? Definitely just Fate Stay Night Shirou, just plain as day. That is why I am here. To participate in the great ritual known as the Holy Grail War of this Asian island country. The Holy Grail is a holy artifact said to grant the wishes of its master, but there has yet to be one who has obtained the true Holy Grail. It is ultimately no more than a legend. The Holy Grail summoned in Fuyuki is an imitation based on this legend. However, though it may not be the original, as long as it is a powerful artifact that grants wishes, it is called a Holy Grail. To the Magi, the matter of true and false is a lesser issue. The main concern is whether or not that imitation is powerful. In that case, the Holy Grail in Fuyuki could be said to be of great concern. That was the decision of the Mages Association, an organized self-defense body for the concealment of magic. The Holy Grail of this land is a competition between Magi. There was a limit to the number of participants. The association was allowed only 1 seat. The person to be chosen was one who was a specialist at combat, a person that was suited to use magic not for the sake of academia, but as a weapon. It is a Far Eastern Islands country's ritual, one that has nothing to do with the faction's struggles within the association, and is nothing but a nuisance. No, I have not watched Monster Strike Arthur. A battle where defeat is not allowed, but victory would bring no glory. I was selected for that very battle. This meant using an artifact passed down within my family as the summoning catalyst for my servant, carrying the burden of the prestige and trust of the association, and the means to fight, I departed. Laughing spitefully, they saw me off. As they said, it was only in combat that they had absolute faith in me as well as derision. Tradition's carrier, God's holder, the other name I'm called by, an ability in magic, making use of the old blood passed down in my lineage that determined who I am. Yes, there is an anime themed around Jeanne d'Arc. I don't really know all the details. To fight in and win the war as a magus of the association. That is my mission. That alone should have been my mission. But why? I have a vague feeling that I was looking for something other than the Holy Grail. Something or someone. If that was the case, there may have been someone I wanted to meet more than getting the Holy Grail. I can't remember what happened to me in the last few days. I know who I am, but what happened later, what happened since I came to Fuyuki is a blur. I remember joining the battle as a master. No, there's no Fate series regarding Jean. I remember patrolling the city with my servant. But there are still many blanks. The last few days, that's right. My memory of everything that has happened since I came to this city has been clouded. Why have I been sleeping in this house in the first place?
Oi. いつまでもボケっとしてんじゃねえぞ。時間もねえんだ。さっさと片付けに行こうぜ。
The figure that is speaking to me, he is a servant, a being given form from the summoning of a legendary hero. What is called a heroic spirit. They are the most powerful familiars that a human being can control. There is a path between master and servant to supply magical energy. My magical energy, or to be more direct, my life energy, is what powers that servant. I can tell that my body is acting as the wedge that pins this servant to this plane of existence. He is definitely my servant, but still, was this the servant I summoned?
お前は私のサーバントなのか?
I ask while struggling with this headache. The servant rose up and is now staring at me, finally noticing that something is amiss.
あんたさ、その様子からするとまだ本調子じゃねってこと?
The shadow sways almost like a flame. I can feel it in my guts. This man may be my servant, but he is certainly not on my side. This is the sort of wild animal that would kill his master to become free as soon as he gets the chance. The relationship between master and servant is not based on trust among employer and employee. It is only a relationship of cooperation based on mutual gains and losses. Letting down one's guard, showing even the slightest weakness, means risking being stabbed in the back that very instant.
おい、心配して相棒様が聞いてるんだぜ。答えるのが筋ってもんじゃねえの？
そうですね。正直に言うと、私の性能は低下しています。運動に支障はありませんが、意識に混乱が見られます。特に。
There is no benefit in hiding the cloudiness of my memory. I look back at the servant and reveal my current disorder. However, I didn't reveal what had to be hidden. I cannot tell him that my vision has weakened, nor that my memory is not vague, but rather missing. These are my current weaknesses. If I told him, the servant would immediately bare his fangs at me. The best I can do now is behave normally while getting information from the servant and trying to recover my memory. Hello!
俺を呼んでおいて何も分かってない。聖杯戦争のことも自分が誰かも分からないってのか？おいおい待てよ、勘弁してくれ。それじゃあズブの素人と組んだ方がいくらかマシじゃねえか。
いえ、自分が何者なのかははっきりしています。あなたを召喚したことも、マスターとして聖杯戦争に参加したことも覚えている。曖昧なのはその後だ。例えば、どうして私がここで眠っていたのか、どうもよく思い出せない。
Without showing any signs of weakness, I tell him the truth. Whether it worked out or not, the taint of suspicion that the servant had been carrying grew further, or fainter.
質問を返しますが、私はどうしてここで眠っていたのか。
なんでかって、そんなもん俺が知るが。この洋館を隠れ家にするって言ったのはあんただし、俺を召喚してすぐ疲れたから休むって言ったのもあんただ。そのあたり覚えてないのか
？Yes, before coming to Fuyuki, I did investigate suitable safe houses as potential bases at the association. Among the ones I checked, yes, this mansion should have been one of those. My mind grows hazy. When I try to recall what happened, I start to feel faint. I shouldn't push myself too hard right now. I have to hear what happened from the servant.
この洋館を隠れ家にすると決めたのは私でしょう。それには覚えがあります。そしてあなたを召喚した。
I remember indistinctly that this happened. I did form a contract with this servant in this mansion.
そうそうですぐに眠ったんだよあんたは。名前だけ名乗って私が起きるまで行動するななんて言いやがった。おかげでこっちはたまりまくりだ。殺し合いに呼ばれたってのになんだってお預け食らってなきゃなんねえのかね。
Only my name? No, more importantly, what the servant is saying is dangerous. It's very reassuring that he loves fighting, but it will be a problem if he loves it more than is necessary.
待ちなさい。確認しますが、私たちは基本的な戦闘方針すら話し合っていなかったのですか？
ないよ。きっと必要なかったんだ。あんたは事前にこの町を調べていたろうし、俺だって世界戦争がどんなものか呼び出された時点で頭に叩き込まれてる。要はより早く効率的に手段を選ばず他のマスターどもを殺していけばいいって話じゃんか。恐ろしい顔するなあんた。そう睨むなよ、おっかねえじゃん。何？俺気に障ることでも言った？
ええ、あなたとは相互理解が必要なようですね。私のサーバントがそんな考えなしでは腹が立つ。私は教会を代表する魔術師であって猛獣使いになる気はありませんから。
I stare and try to intimidate him. Whatever, said the servant, averting his eyes.
ま、相互理解はできないと思うけど。
He mutters as if it doesn't concern him.
いいさ。で、何？教会の代表様はどんな戦いがお好みで？
ことは隠密に、無駄な戦いは行いません。まずは敵マスターの調査を優先。今回の聖杯戦争がどういったものかを把握した後、倒すべき順番を考慮し、撃破に移行します。
Those are orders received from the association. First, I have to gather information on the three families that administer the Holy Grail War: Ainsburn, Tosaka, and Makiri. An investigation of the remaining three masters will proceed afterwards. It may be possible to convince Magi to abandon their master status. There also may be other outstanding Magi that ought to be taken into custody by the association. Besides, to act without proper information is an embarrassment for a Magus of the association.
は？使いっ走りの犬じゃあるまいし、敵は見つけたら殺すよマスター。結局は潰し合う同業だ。出会ったら最後逃げられないし。
I didn't need him to tell me that. I feel the same way, but I can't disobey the orders of the association.
従いなさい。教会は神秘を隠匿するための組織です。下手な騒ぎはできません。それに無秩序に戦えば一般人に犠牲が出てしまう。
I'll be right back. Thank you.
「聖杯の入手は絶対条件ですが、町の人間を巻き込むことは極力避けるべきだ。
This is not only a matter of the Mages Association. The Holy Church also has involvement in the Holy Grail War. Should any damage be brought to the city, they will vigorously move in to conceal it to ensure the smooth continuance of the ritual. There was a limit to this, however. Last time in the Fourth War, there was a master that killed indiscriminately and daily. Yeah, we know that one, don't we? The priest monitoring viewed the master as an enemy and penalized him severely.
それは手段を選ぶってことかな。俺には思いつかないが、勝ち残るための一環として殺しはしない方がいいとか。
勝ち残るためではありません。私とて魔術師です。必要であれば手はですが、それでも人として最低限守るべきものがあるでしょう。
ああ、そりゃなんつうか。
He sounds unenthusiastic. The servant apathetically breathes out and...
あんたさ、霊術使ってくんない？私には逆らうな、みたいな。そうしないと、あんたを真っ先に殺しそうだわ、俺。
Is that Medusa's voice? I gulp. He's serious. He doesn't care about what would happen next. The rule of cooperating with the master for his own protection doesn't apply to him. This bastard is seriously aiming for my throat. The servant told me to use a command spell to stop him. 3 absolute rights of order that a master has. Powerful spells given by the Holy Grail. A master's trump card that can only be used 3 times, but ensures that any command is followed. For that reason, I answer him immediately.
断ります。飼い犬に命令される主人などいないし、飼い犬に殺される者など主人ではありません。あなたは私のサーバントだ。あなたがどう動くか。
I force back his bloodlust with my own. No matter what, if I use a command spell for something as frivolous as this, I had no future in this war. I clench my right fist and start carving runes into the floor with my heel, to be able to intercept an assault at any time.
なるほどね。なら考え方を変えてみるか。オーケー。俺はあんたのサーバントだ。飼い主には従うよ。
Good boy. The servant gave in easily. It's, how should I put it, anticlimactic? And my heart was beating in excitement at the feeling that battle was going to break out. So I could learn how powerful servants were.
なんだよ。それでも文句あんの？
いえ、問題はないけど。
Oh, I'm gonna play the minigames alright. Those are pretty damn fun. My favorite is Ilia's Castle.
本当に私の言葉を理解しているのですか？
ああ、できるだけ死人は出すなってんだろ。それがマスターの方針ってことは理解したよ。
There are many things I want to say in detail, but I have nothing else to say regarding a general plan. The rest I can do by getting orders depending on the situation.
よし、なら行こうぜ。いい加減ここにいるのも飽き飽きだ。
I don't really know if I have like a horror game that's anime themed enough to do as a live stream or something that wouldn't take a long time, that I could just do one time. The servant prods me to go out. I'm still physically unstable, but I'm curious about what's going on outside. And anyway, after sleeping for such a long time, I want to move around freely a bit.
わかりました。細かい方針は状況に応じて変えていきましょう。
I regain myself. For the time being, I'll leave. Oh, you'll leave rock behind. There are limits to that sword, and I can't use it fully in my current state. After I locate the other masters, I can think about who to use it on.
しかしね、できるだけ死人は出すな。いいね。そうできたら最高かもな。
The servant repeats cheerfully.
含みがあるのなら言いなさい。 私の方針に意見があるならここで型をつけましょう。
だから理解したって。おっかねえからあんたとはまだやり合わねえよ。けどさ、それは無理なんだマスター。死人を出さないとか周りを巻き込まないとか関係ないよ。あんたがどう頑張ったところでこの町は4日間しか持たないんだから。
No longer than 4 days.
なんですって。
外に出ればわかる。とっくにそんな状況じゃねえってな。この町の人間は日々溢れ出してる得体の知れない連中にどんどん減らされていってるんだから。
得体の知れない連中ですって。そんなバカな。あなた、私の記憶が曖昧だからとつまらない狂言を。
外に出ればわかる。百聞は一見にしかずだ。
The servant stifles his laughter. As I stand bewildered, the black shadow takes my hand and starts walking.
さあ、聖杯戦争を続けよう。バゼットフラガマグレミッツ。今度こそ君の望みを見つけるために。
The house was built on top of a high hill. It lies hidden within a forest, separated from any human habitation. My head aches. I thought that breathing the outside air would clear myself, more or less, but instead, the cold night air only clouds my thoughts further.
どうしたマスター？まだ外に出るのは早かったか？
The servant pokes fun at me. I shake my head and keep going. My mind is still sluggish. The bright moonlight seems to be the source of my disorientation. It's quiet. Of course, it's past 2 a.m., but the city is abnormally silent even for this time. It slightly resembles my own hometown. The port town I spent my childhood in. At night, the tide would come into the town and people would shut themselves in their houses as if they were afraid. The empty city was almost like a ship, sunk at the bottom of the ocean, prompting a younger me to want to run away from that place. I must have felt that everybody would have forgotten that I existed if I had stayed like that, at the bottom of the ocean. I couldn't help thinking about the old gods, that nobody remembered anymore, sharing the same cursed fate. And now Fuyuki is being submerged into the ocean depths too. The atmosphere is different from the one I remember. It's too quiet. It might as well be an abandoned city. Regardless, only the presence of life is evident. I could feel almost countless numbers of creatures breathing. Surrounding me is an aura that I have never felt before. Mysterious things is what my servant said. I don't want to admit it, but it seems that there is a credibility to what he says. We've been walking for some 2 hours. The servant stops in his tracks and is now gazing at a particular residence. He speaks with impressed tone. The house he's looking at is nothing more than a regular building. If there is anything that distinguishes it from the other residences, is it that one fact the lights are on.
あんたはそこにいろ。まだ本調子じゃねえんだろ。一足先に俺が様子を見てきてやるよ。
The servant starts walking toward it on his own accord. I try to chase after him. Pathetically, I'm thrown off by the moonlight. I've got to be honest here. I can't speak for the other servants, but see me? I didn't feel like doing this from the get-go. High-level magic, the summoning of beings purified into the level of legends and giving off the form of them, to make them familiars. That's what servants are. Not something so cheap as just borrowing a piece of paper, borrowing the piece of the power of heroic spirits. No, it's actually a projection of the guy himself. A resurrection just for the Holy Grail War. A clone with a short lifespan. A guardian of humanity reborn into the modern era. Sounds nice and dandy. Autonomous weapons are pretty convenient, right? Except replicating Even what's on the inside is going a little too far, don't you think? A familiar being able to think doesn't do anyone any good. That goes double for servants. Suppose there's a familiar more powerful than its master. Now let's say it can think of it for itself. There's no reason why it won't revolt. Yes, it's kind of like a sequel to all three routes at the same time. I was lucky enough to be summoned by a master that was my type of woman. Personally, I'm satisfied with her, but it looks like I'm going to be doing some disobeying. Why? Well, why not? I might not have any complaints about the boss, but I've got a hell of a lot to say about society. I feel like shit, like I was left hanging in the morgue. Back when I was alive, the world was still lively. Nowadays, it's old and dying. Got a few 100 million years left before it kicks the bucket, and it's too late to do anything about it. Being one of those fellows that knew what she was like back in the old days, it wouldn't be right to not be a little angry about her current predicament and all that. Of course, it was pretty obvious that she'd been clean dry one of these days, but damn, that was fast. Now there's a part of me that's got to hate my own species for that filthiness. But another part of me wants to pat them on the back at the same time. The power of humanity is incredible. Oh, how morals have come and gone in the blink of an eye. It makes me wonder just how many new generations of humanity have been born, and how many have been wiped out. Given how fast they are, it's too bad how they haven't come up with a kind of evolution that's environmentally friendly. I've got to hand it to them, hominids. They sure did a great job at amplifying a ready-made system instead of finding a new type of cycle. But that means there's no future ahead. So if they can buy a little more time, it'd be nice if they'd come up with some new kind of improvement and keep going. They've already gone to all the trouble of destroying this much. Where do we want to go? Why have we exhausted the land? Was this good? Was this bad? I want results that anyone can understand. Even if the answer is that it was a failure. I don't mind one bit. Those of heroic spirit status have feelings of animosity towards this era. Then again, heroic spirits are supposed to be on humanity's side. So that would mean they'd approve of whatever results humanity brings about. Just like how I do the opposite of that. Let's say there was this godlike absolute being as a force of good, and let's say he was summoned here in this day and age. Now, what would he do? Would he approve of it? Would he act to protect us? If he approves, we face extinction. If he protects us, he'll watch on. A sane heroic spirit chose the latter. Or would choose the latter. One with a few screws loose would happily lend a hand, and another, with only one screw left, would get excited at making the world a better place. Something like, I'm going to save the world. Wow. I don't ever want to meet that kind of guy, let alone fight him. Now, as for me, there's only one thing I can do either way. I may be a heroic spirit, but I'm not that strong. Take a look at all the legends in the world and you still won't find anybody weaker than me. Yay, I'm number 1. You're damn lucky, Master. Can't get any lower than this. Easy to make up a battle plan, since all there is to do is think about how to take on the strong. I don't want to think about it, but there's a good chance that lady's stronger than me in pure fighting ability. A heroic spirit getting his ass kicked by a human? Oh boy, I want to disappear. Don't cause any deaths, that's what she said. That's the way to go. Milady Magus of the House of Whatever. Can't expect to find her strategy that reeks of a sheltered girl on honor roll. Fitting sense of pure humanity for a master. But hey, I can't do that. All I can do is kill. Honestly, a bloodless victory is a pain in the ass. I'm already the weakest. I'm not going to be winning if I'm a goody two-shoes. This thing does have war in the name, so we ought to be relying on the slaughter techniques that man had so painstakingly developed. Servants are one thing, but masters are humans. It'd be way easier to take them out with mines and explosions like the last time.
ま、今はそんな時代じゃないけどな。前は物騒な時期だったからな。命の扱いは安かったんだが。
This time, things are different. The Mages Association is watching oh so painstakingly close. What, me?
This time, things are different.
Yes. Plus, the system of public safety that modern man has created is not too shabby. If I run wild, the other masters will figure out where Bizet is. Now, I don't mind finishing off a horde of people nice and fast, but consecutive fighting on consecutive nights is going to exhaust me, so I want to avoid that. On that point, the part on Bizet's strategy about not going overboard is fine with me, so I'll try my best to follow the master's plan like a good servant would. Well then, with that out of the way, let's turn back to what we have now. Ignoring my hesitant master's voice, I'm heading to the house. I don't have to bother checking. The fact that the lights are on means there are live humans inside. Unfortunately, I don't have any human or heat-detecting abilities. My servant skills can be summed up as nothing. But that's okay. What's inside there is human. I dematerialize myself and pass through the front door. I manifest my weapon and go towards the people in the living room. Let's finish this, fast and cruel like always. Now, for all I know, there could be some accident like the strongest ultra-humanoid in all of human history is inside and has powers that surpass a heroic spirit. No problem whatsoever. I may be the weakest, but I can defeat the most powerful human being. Why? Because it's not something to brag about, but when it comes to dealing with humans, I'm the strongest. Blood splashes up in the air. The inhabitants are dead. One middle-aged man, 2 boys, 1 granny, 1 old man having a blood-stained knife, holding a blood-stained knife. Oh, he's still alive. What a letdown. By the time I broke in, it was already over. His breath is ragged and heavy. The mad culprit who massacred those 4. He doesn't pay any attention to me, probably because he wants to take out the last geezer. The geezer backed himself up against the wall and is desperately shaking his head. The murder scene and method are pretty grisly to look at. The bodies are ravaged beyond recognition. Blood, flesh, and entrails are splendidly scattered about. The choking stench of life, a living space splattered here and there. The end roll for the Brady Bunch. What? What? Really? Oh shit. Damn clean for a murder scene. Not one little flaw, after all. It was murder for murder's sake. No robbing, no raping, no hungering. Not one bit of that here. Yes, I've watched both Monogatari and Berserk. Oh, can we get the door? Someone's at the door. Alright, wait a second, I'll get the door. Sorry about that. I'm live streaming. I'll save him since he asked. Since it was a surprise blow from behind, the murderer is killed easily. After that, I'm back to my regular job. I hear a dog. Coo, is that you? No. She's a much nicer puppy. By the time I ran into that house, it was all over. There are 5 corpses in the living room. I'm able to tell what appears to be 5 heads severed from the nose. It's a slaughter scene so grotesque that I could not have determined how many there are throughout any other means. the servant says while standing idly in a pool of fresh blood. In the servant's clenched hand is a warped dagger, a form that seems to be a mix of the fangs and claws of a beast. Is it meant to be gripped backhanded? I've never seen a weapon that looked so difficult to use. I've already played Fate Unlimited Codes. There's not really much of a story to it other than just playing the individual characters. I mean, I could play more of it if people wanted. So that weapon is his noble phantasm, his symbol as a heroic spirit.
おっかないぜマスター。そうにらんだ。どうだ？一つ状況説明でもするか？
必要ありません。凶器と傷跡は一致しています。
You are the Zoken nutting part in the Heavens Feel? Say what? The shadow laughs in agreement. There's no need to investigate any further. The situation told me that the cause of this tragedy was the servant.
私からの質問は一つです。なぜ殺したのですか？
なぜって、これもあんたのためだぜ。俺は当たりを探しているだけだ。一人一人調べるのも、一人一人殺していくのも変わらない。要は目撃者を作らなければいいんだろ？ならよ、こうして潰していけば、いつかマスターに出会えるぜ。
お前は。
This guy. He hadn't listened to anything I said. I was prepared to accept some sacrifices once I went into battle. I am a magus, and am no different from a murderer. However, still, I never desired this kind of meaningless sacrifice.
お前は人を殺すことが楽しいのか?
Oh, you are at. Jeez, you know, sometimes I just read things too fast. I apologize.
あ? バカ言うな。俺だって好きでやってる
Well, I sure know about that part.
こうして求められた以上、
The nut busting.
自分にできることをやっただけだぜ。あのさ、人型をしてるからって勘違いするなよ、マスター。サーバントってのは
It's Zoken that's busting a nut, though.
こういうもんじゃないのか?
It's pretty awkward.
質問に答えていない。
The lore of Monogatari? Shit, you know, that actually might be a lot of fun.
I have the books.
私は
I probably have to get into
楽しいの
those.
かと聞いたのです。
How many of them are translated? All of them?
They, the company that picked it up translates them very fast, and I have a majority of the first volumes. I read the first 9 or 10.
Sweet. I'd have to start slow. Do like Bake first.
Yeah, I definitely have all the volumes.
I glare at the servant. Holding that warped dagger, the servant.
とりわけ何も。第一、殺しちゃ楽しめねえだろ。いろいろ。
Yes, it's that scene. He directed a repugnant laugh as if he wanted me to share in his amusement.
貴様、それでも英霊か?
I can't restrain myself. It's strange. I've seen people like him countless times. Yet without any reason, I feel disgust at this man's way of life. Except every season of Monogatari, you learn more about the backstory of the other larger, more important things that these Bake stuff kind of just takes place within. Like all of the previous generation of people at his school, you know? Like, what is that guy with the spiky hair and shit that was helping with... Yes. The guy?
Yeah, the guy wore like a Hawaiian shirt.
Yep, that guy. You know, that kind of stuff. You learn more about him as you go through the seasons, so it'd have to be some degree of comprehensive. It's strange, I've seen people like him countless times, yet without any reason I feel disgust at this man's way of life. Well, if I don't go fast, this will take forever, so there's a balance. It somehow feels as if this man alone must not be forgiven.
あんたこそ殺し合いが向かないんならマスターになんざなるな。しらけるんだよ実際。つまんね。せっかくの賞が台無しだぜ。喜んでもらえると期待してたのにさ。
そう。悪いけど、その期待には最後まで応えられない。今確信し
There's a
た。
funny video called Zoken Girl.
私たちは反りが合わない。
Oh god.
あなたは
Oh no.
私が最も嫌う人格だ。
I turn my hostility towards my own servant. I direct hatred similar to annoyance at the person I have to gain trust from first. I'm not acting right. The immaturity of showing my feelings and hating someone should have been discarded long ago.
へえ。いいね。俺も基本的にあらゆるものが気に入らない。
Oh yeah, starting with Kiss Shot's backstory. At this point, I just need to like rewatch them all, just because that would be fun.
下手に気を許されるとイラつくんで、それぐらいがちょうどいい。こういうのも気が合うっていうのかね。
The servant shows no signs of caring. I hate him and he doesn't think anything of me. So, there will be no cause for friction, even if we despise each other, and we have no plans to bond.
けどさ、あんたは割と好きな部類に入る。
Except, he just said something odd.
なぜですか？あなたはあらゆるものが気に入らないのでしょ？マスターとしてあなたがどのようなサーバントかは理解できる。あなたの方向性は人間を好むものではない。
See you later, Tome.
とりあえずいい女だからな。気に入らねえけど好感を抱いてるんだ。
私が女だからという理由ですか？
女じゃなくていい女。あんたさ、えらくそそるんだよ。
Zoken lore. I talk about his lore, actually, as part of Hassan of the Cursed Arm. At the moment, that's all I plan on doing. If anything, I would do closer to... I mean, I already did a lore of Elia, but, well, not a full video of her. She was part of Heracles. But she probably could have an entire one of her own if I wanted to. There's a lot of extra details. Stuff about Sela and Leisrit that were ignored. And I could obviously do an entire one of Kirei.
体つきも好みなんだが、優等生なところとか、一般論を守ろうとしているところとか、みっともなさすぎて見ていられない。
Bazette does have a nice body.
わかる？こんな単一機能を発揮しただけの仕事じゃなく、何らかの意味を持って殺したくなるぐらい、あんたは俺を欲情させてるってこと。
Except he's fucked up. Turning me on enough to make me want to find a real reason to kill you. That's fucked up. The shadow laughs. It's better to watch Monogatari in Japanese. You don't have an option. There's no dub. All the puns and word things. Intent flows in through our connected path, so dense I can physically feel it. I haven't done a video for the third lore exclusively, no. There's not enough details. The servant isn't lying, he hates all things. By nature, he sees everything as an object to kill, without reason or reward. There can be no other explanation. Now for this pure hatred that can turn into a curse without having to use the incendiary device of magic just by existing. But that leaves me with questions. For someone with as much bloodlust as him to not kill me earlier doesn't make any sense.
先ほどの話ですが、あなたはまず私を殺すと言い、それを抑えた。私に欲情しているあなたが令状なしで、どうやって私への欲求を抑えたのですか？
ああ、あんたはマスターだからな。あんたは人間じゃないってさっきルールを作ったところ。
You're off limits, man.
まあ要するにこの世で唯一殺す気になれない生き物になったってわけ。見てくれは女だけど中身は人間じゃないっつが攻略対象外の生物にカテゴライズしたんだよ。
That was direct. For some reason, I find his answer incredibly hurtful.
私を人間扱いしないと
I've heard people say before that I'm boring or that I'm not charming, but this has to be the first time I was treated like a woman. Oh, I wasn't treated like a woman. No, he said as a human being. But that's how it sounded to me.
あれ信用できねえか最大限の情報なんだぜこんなの最初で最後の特例なんだぞくそ頭くるなこっちは本気なのにはいはいそうですか形のないものは見えませんかしょうがないこういうのなら信用できる
What are you gonna give her? So he interpreted my silence as suspicion. He tears out a page of a notepad from the blood-soaked desk and writes something on it.
おいこれあげる誰かに譲ったりしないように
Certificate of Exemption from Murder, valid until the end of Holy Grail War. In well-written Japanese.
何ですかこれは
何って人間じゃない証明書
This is proof that you're not a person.
これなら誰が見てもあんたは攻略対象外ってわかるだろ
Good for you, he says, pushing the pieces of paper into my hands. Oh, the piece of paper. Yes, my judgment was correct. The servant and I are hopelessly doomed to not get along. We cannot afford to stay at the murder scene forever. Hurriedly, we leave the residence behind. I have my complaints with my servant acting without my permission. But it's already too late. By continuing to argue with him, the only thing that would result is further mistrust. However, there is one thing I feel that is strange about him. I cannot trust this servant. Masters and servants are linked. Because of that, I can feel that he is fundamentally the kind that enjoys murder and completely kills his opponent ruthlessly, no matter who or what. He is my complete opposite. I complete my missions without leaving room for personal feelings. However, this servant This servant does only... Jesus Christ. This servant does so only with personal feelings. He operates only on the emotion of wanting to kill people. But despite that...
なんだよそに行くんじゃないのかマスターそれともあれかここで異常を聞きつけてきたマスターどもをはめ殺すかい
そんな見えすいた罠にかかる魔術師はいませんし戦闘は第2段階からですまずは調査からと言ったでしょう
いや結構いそうだぜ間抜けなルーキーは例えば夜の巡回に精を出して勝手に死んでそうなやつとかな下調べなんてやってたら他の連中に食われるってのがわからねえんだよほんと富士の善人だねありゃ
I ignore my servant's chatter and walk ahead. And yet, despite all of his negative points, I don't feel that this servant is unpleasant. He's the kind of human being that I despise the most. I cannot tolerate him on any level. So, why is it that I can't completely hate him? I close my eyes and focus on our link. In exchange for the flowing magical energy, sometimes I feel something very refreshing. A feeling of homesickness rubbing against the heart. A prayer resembling longing.
Lad at the door.
How hollow. That void tells me something. I don't understand the clear reason why, but it tells me that this servant will never betray me. It tells me that he will lend me his chaotic will to grant my wish. We resume our patrol. This night we focus our investigation on Shinto. The Shinto investigation ends in about 2 hours. We were unable to detect any traces of magi. In addition, the presence of the mysterious things the servant mentioned were confirmed. A part of me finds it hard to believe, but Fuyuki has indeed completely changed. All over I can feel an unusual presence. It's as if we were always being watched. the city has begun to become to come apart at the seams ever so slightly. On a different note, while there are many traces of magical energy, there are absolutely no signs of magic being performed, which would mean that this isn't the work of a master gathering magical energy. The only feasible possibility is that there is something feeding on the inhabitants of this city, unrelated to the war. No master would benefit from this. Doing this would instead force a halt to the Holy Grail war.
そうか。聖杯戦争を聞きつけた外来の魔術師なら。
That would mean there is a magus that desired the Holy Grail, but was not chosen as a master. Perhaps out of a twisted desire for vengeance, he is trying to disrupt the ritual? Another possibility was he made a contract with another association to disrupt the Holy Grail war. Regardless, it's obvious that there is an 8th magus in Fuyuki.
8人目？もう一人邪魔者が増えたってのか？
断言はできませんが、その確率が高い。私の知らない魔術師が第5次聖杯戦争に介入しようとしているのは確かだ。その魔術師の目的は分かりませんが。
He was starting off by breaking the rules of the Holy Grail War. It may be best to think of him as not just my enemy, but as the enemy of all the other masters.
そいつどんなやつ？
直接的な戦闘に自信がなく、広範囲の結界作りを得意としている。攻めより守りが向いているのでしょう。正しく魔導を学んではいませんね。黒魔術とドルイド思想が混同されている。
そういうんじゃなくてさ、強いか弱いかって話。
What's a normie?
魔術師としてのスキルは初歩です。ですが、
someone who's not obsessed like we are. The remaining magical energy traces. Oh, that's a weird sentence. Were extremely dense. Magical energy is only fuel to activate magic by itself. It has no effect. However, there are cases when it can leave behind a form, only limited to those times, when magical energy itself bears traits similar to magic. What you up to, baby? You're what together? Staff?
Yeah.
You have a staff?
Well, this thing.
Huh?
I'm trying this out to see if it actually
Oh, you bought some stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what that shit was. For example, I heard that the Einsburns have gave a personality to their Holy Grail. If that personality has magical energy, then it naturally possesses the magic trait of wish-granting. Since its vital activity and its functions as a Holy Grail are likely directly connected to each other. To be fair, these are pretty heavy, dense sentences of Nasu's. It should be able to perform miracles resembling magic, merely by releasing magical energy. The incarnated demons spoken of by the Holy Church also fall into this category. Those that were created as demons, rather than as life forms, can use higher-level magic than humans. As magi, our magic circuits are nothing more than pseudo-nerves, an ability that was added later behind our nervous system. However, demons have no need for those. All of their organic functions merely serve the purpose of invoking the demonic. I hear the Church calls these true demons. Different from imposters that don a hide of human concepts to become a unique identity. They are genuine demons that the Lord had commanded before man would name them, or so I hear. Like, this is quite a tangent, jeez.
つまらない行動原理の魔術師なら取るに足りませんが、教会に雇われたフリーランスだとしたら侮れない。そういえば、前回の聖杯戦争で勝ち残ったのは
A freelance magus hired by the Einsburns. His name was Emiya Kiritsugu, a combat magus called in by the Einsburns, who had retired from the front lines by the time I had been assigned to sealing missions. Oh, to sealing missions, that sounds so weird. Our occupations have the same tendency to intrude on each other's territory. Had he still been active, I would likely have fought him numerous times. While the situation is becoming more unstable, I can't change my policy just because of one more enemy. I'll proceed with an investigation of all the masters, causing as little damage to the people of this city as possible. The problem is what to do next. It is obvious that my servant's abilities are low-ranking. In a straight-out fight on pure ability, he will eventually exhaust himself and lose. I have to think of an order of who to fight, but I know very well who our final opponent ought to be. The lineage of Holy Grails, Einsburn. It has been said that they have prepared the most powerful master for this war. In the past, I have fought homunculus created by the Einsburns. Being a failed creation of facing disposal, it ran away from Einsburn territory and survived by scraping out a meager existence in a human city. I was responsible for destroying it, but the results were bitter. Even considering that at the time I was still inexperienced, the Einsburn-produced homunculus was tougher than many magi. The same Einsburns have produced a master for this battle that they believe to be the most powerful. In all honesty, I can't even begin to see any chance of victory at this stage. Until I discover what tricks the enemy has up their sleeves, fighting against the Einsburns is suicidal. In the forest on the outskirts of the city lies the old castle that the Einsburns control. The day we invade that forest will most likely be the day my Holy Grail War will end. The last place we come to is a hilltop graveyard for foreigners. I suppose it's because of the Einsburns casting a shadow over my mind. I feel weak, disoriented from a headache. I really didn't want to come here.
どうしたマスター？考え事か？
My unease must have shown on my face. My servant is actually showing concern for my health. I allow myself to be taken in by this sudden consideration.
つまらない質問ですが、あなたは私が勝てると思いますか?
And I put into words that weak uncertainty that I had tried not to think about. The servant's expression changes. Keeping his mouth twisted with sarcasm, he turns his back to me.
その不安はまだ早い。勝つか負けるかなんだ。何を倒すかを決めてからなんだが。
His voice is strained. He is bent forward like a beast with prey before his eyes.
ついてねえな。どうやら悠長に悩む時間はないみたいだぜ。
He is grinning. What he sees is a master and servant. And no, that scene doesn't happen until later. I feel a powerful flow of magical energy. The command spells on her left hand shine brightly. She is still young, but appears to possess wisdom that far surpasses my own.
はじめまして。ひなびた荒野の魔術師さん。どう？お互いの名を知る必要はあるかしら。
She is probably from one of the great houses. Her eyes are full of derision. To her side is another figure. I cannot tell which classes she belongs to, but the fact that a master brought her means she must be a servant. I remove the leather gloves inscribed with runes. Oh, jeez. I'm being really distracted. I removed the leather gloves inscribed with runes of protection from my chest pocket. I take them out along with something hard. Why was I carrying this earring? Why had I tucked it away so carefully? These questions rise to the surface, but now isn't the time for that. I put the gloves on. The girl waits politely for me to make my move. I regret not bringing Rock with me. If I survive, I'll make sure to carry it, even if I'm only out for investigations. Well, I shouldn't use my trump card immediately. Having it increases the range of my strategy. What are you doing? You took that outside?
Yep. I think he's on the concrete because it has more resistance.
Oh.
敵の実力を測ります。あなたはサーバントの相手を。
あいよ。
Not taking any care to see what she would do, he rushed towards the girl's servant. The two figures clashed. I passed by the side and ran towards the defenseless master.
名乗り上げる名さえもたぬ田舎者でしたのね。よろしくてよ。エーデルフェルトの手にかかることを名誉となさい。
But she doesn't look like an Edelfelt. She fired a scatter of Gondor, or Gundo, I think is actually how you say it. A one-action spell preventing close combat. Her magecraft is a firearm in itself. This isn't a metaphor. Edelfelt, a noble family of Finland, the Ore Scales, the same Edelfelt that produced many masters of the Gondo. This generation's young head was praised as the pride of their lineage, but now that I've seen how skilled she is, I can agree. I don't block the Gondo aimed at both sides of my thigh. I keep moving, parrying only the Gondo that would hit my upper body with my left fist.
素手で私のガンドを。
I move in. My right fist, lowered to the base of my chest, strikes aimed at the side of her stomach, where her kidneys are. The only hint I would give you is that the Edelfelt sisters were part of the Third Holy Grail War. As to why they look like Sakura and Rin right now, I will not disclose just yet. I am blown backwards. A figure appearing from behind her protects her from a body blow and repels me. A swordsman stands in my way. Saber! A servant. There is no denying it. This is a servant.
ならもう一人の少女は。
And Artoria Pendragon was not in the Third Holy Grail War, which is strange. The moment I look away to confirm, the battle is over.
お願い、セイバー。
Bizette, under the right conditions, can totally go up against a servant, and with her Fragarak, she can actually kill one. That is, if you know the trick. Or if you fail to get hit by it. If you screw up and you get hit by her trick. The other girl screams. Oh, hello, Alter. Saber defeats my servant, just as the girl had ordered her to. How appallingly weak. With just one slash of steel, not even able to match sword against sword, my servant has his neck pierced and is already gone.
何よ、話にならないじゃない。セイバー、手っ取り早く片付けなさい。帰って熱いコーヒーを楽しみましょう。
Let us enjoy a hot cup of coffee when we return. Yes, indeed. Saber nods silently. No, I have not done a separate video on the Edelfelts, no. But I talk about them with regard to, Rin's lore. I am defeated, without being able to prepare my weapon. So, this is Saber. This doesn't make any sense. The two girls are each using a different saber?
下調べが足りなかったようね。エーデルフェルトの当主は常に姉妹だと。あなたの耳には届かなかったのかしら。
Am I going to stream a new Halloween event? Or the new Halloween event? No, I'm not going to stream this Halloween event because it's just pretty much a replica of last one. That said, I have been playing it on the sidelines. Sisters. That is the magic trait of their bloodline. The normally abhorrent notion of having two successors was the reason why they were called Scales. Then, the two of them are one master? Oh, the two of them are one master, and summon two different sides of the same heroic spirit.
まず一人、私たちの手にかかることを光栄に、一番初めに倒されることを恥と知りなさい。
Man, these Edelfelt sisters sure are perky.
残るマスターは
Sakura must
こ
be
れであと
cold.
5人ですわ。
Her voice echoed to the moon, silently. Oh, Saber, silently without showing any hint of emotion. Thrust her sword into my chest. My consciousness is being severed. The moon is cycling like a white skull. And thus comes the end of my Holy Grail War, once again. Losing sight of the ending without conclusion. The curtains fall. Oh no! Oh no! Heavens feel back in the light, too. Oh yeah, I switched it to the old ending. Or sorry, the old opening. Can I skip it? I'm just gonna mute the game audio real quick. Just so it doesn't get taken down. But you can still watch the opening. There is a new opening animated by Ufotable, but that would get taken down in a heartbeat. So we ain't doing that shit. We ain't doing that shit. I know the Vita opening is good, but it's copyrighted. No, the Fate Vita openings are notorious for being taken down. The only ones that you'll find are like shit quality or flipped or some kind of filter on them. So what just happened? Bazette got shanked and died. The end. Ha. Ataraxia. Okay. Am I a household?
God damn it.
Ben, what is horse shit? You need to be clearer. Saying that is just not enough for me. I have no idea what that means. I said a lot of stuff. That was the dream I had. I wake up just before 6 in the morning. The light coming through the window is a little bright, and the breeze seeping through the gaps is a little chilly. A steaming summer had come and gone, passing into October before anyone realized it. It's become a season where falling asleep without a blanket is a bad idea. I set my still sluggish brain into motion. Last night, I fixed up bike number 1, changed number 2's chain to a new one. While I was at it, and since I didn't have anything else to do, I relaxed a bit and ended up nodding off. What's the whole lore? If you watched my Angermainu lore video, or my Fate Stay Night Part 2, my main original one, you'd have a fairly good idea of what's going on right now. I don't want to spoil it 2 people in the stream at the moment. I rotate my stiff shoulders and breathe in. Breakfast starts at 6:30 at the Emiya residence. There's still plenty of time, but only for people who are going to eat. The people making breakfast have to wake up 30 minutes earlier than that.
さくらのやつ、最近飯作り終わってから起こしに来るんだもんな。まったく、いつから人の趣味を面白おかしく奪うような性格になったんだろう。
It is definitely the influence of her sister. Anyway, at this house, if you want to make breakfast, you have to wake up at 6 a.m. or risk being beaten to the punch. As the master of this house, no, as her teacher, I can't afford to be outdone already by my pupil. Oh, I love this song. It's so calming. Once I step onto the veranda, my nose catches the smell of breakfast. The sound of an active kitchen knife reaches my ears. Judging by this, I'd say breakfast is about 80% complete. The same old scenery of a pleasant morning, savoring it as if it was only natural.
おや、おはようござい
I
ます。
love this CG.
今朝は少し寝坊ですか？
I gaze at her smile.
シロ、どうしたのです？黙りこくって。私の顔に何か？
Half a year ago. Back when it was still cold, there had also been times like this. That was...
顔色が優れませんね。まったく、また土蔵で用を明かしたのですか？シロ、鍛錬を欠かさぬ心構えは立派ですが、それで体を壊しては半人前だ。
Yeah, after all, I'm still a kid. It's only been half a year since the Holy Grail War. Do kids have sex with Saber? People can't grow up that easily.
聞いているのですか、シロ？
You're a young adult, Shirou. Shut your face.
リンに留守を任されている以上、私にはあなたを監督する義務がある。
Oh yeah, Reen's gone at the clock tower.
不節制が続くようでは、私にも考えがあります。
That's right. With Tosaka gone, it was up to Saber to protect the order of our household. But that's not important right
セイバー
now.
の考えってどんな？
シロが一番苦手なことをいくら言っても守らないのですから、監督として身近で指導をするしかない。シロが悔い改めないというのなら、今日からでも部屋をシロの隣に移しましょう。
Do it. Do it. She says something horrifying with a smile. Shirou, you're such a pansy. Saber's room is a Japanese-style guest room. Back when she was moving out from the room next to mine.
お断りします。住居を変える理由がありません。
She was being real hard-headed about it, but I managed to get her to back down. The war was over, and there was no need to have a bodyguard after all. Hello, I wear clothes. That just happened a little while ago. Ever since then, I took back the appropriate peace of mind of a healthy young man.
反省した。明日からきちんと自分の部屋で寝る。
結構です。まあ、この条件が効果てきめんというのは私としては複雑ですが、これもシロの健康のため。
Miffing, what a word.
身近で稽古できないのが不安ではありますが、シロが安眠できないのでは仕方がない。
Saber turns readily toward the living room. Of course, why would anyone feel reluctant to end a regular old morning conversation? I forget to tell her. I have to say it.
セイバー、おはよう。今日も一日よろしくな。
はい。シロも気をつけて。
I go with Saber to the living room. My vision goes blurry for some reason, wondering why I rub my eyes. My eyes were a little watery. The same old scenery of a pleasant morning. I must have yawned from the blessed boredom of it all. No, it's because it's been a long time since you saw Saber because of the frickin' heavy steel route. The slightly different sound of a variety of clasping hands echoed. On the table is the main dish of grilled fish. 6 portions of it, actually.
はい、そんなわけで今朝はさくらが早起きして作ってくれました。みんな、特にそこのぐうたら人間はさくらに感謝しつつよく噛んで食べるように。
Two people nod earnestly. No, I didn't mean you guys. I meant the Fujimura group over there, trading spinach for roast chicken.
あ、また納豆がある。私のはいらないって言ってるのに、さくらの
Oh, Sakura's trying to make Ilya eat natto.
タイガ、納豆食べるでしょ。卵焼きと交換して。
いいけど、まだ納豆苦手なの？食べず嫌いはダメよ。と言いつつ、卵半分ならうなずくお姉ちゃんであった。むふふ、納豆とご飯の良さがわからないとはまだまだひよっこね。
半分か。いいわ、そのレートで交換してあげる。どうせこんなに食べきれないもん。
Natto is like fermented soybeans, isn't that right,
さくらの
Ari-chan?
関係に引っかかってなさい。
What natto is? They've got this really gross, like, stringy texture.
It truly feels like you're eating something raw.
Yeah, they're kind of gross. A lot of people don't like them, but it's become kind of like a staple for a lot of Japanese people.
10日交換成立。卵半分でイリアちゃんの納豆をゲットだぜ。
I don't know, if you're hungry, you can have a donut.
あと、さくらちゃんの関係ってなんだ？
大丈夫、ご心配には及びません。カロリー計算はちゃんとやってますから、よく噛んでちゃんと運動すれば。
Ilya is not going to die during the duration of Hollow Ataraxia.
ね、そうですよね、セイバーさん。さくらの言う通りです。体格が違うので断言はできませんが、タイガだけ体重が増すということはないでしょう。ほら、セイバーさんもこう言ってますし、じゃんじゃん食べちゃってください。おかわりいっぱいやりますからね。
You ate a snake before? Yeah, that's a little bit different.
言われるまでもなく、さくら、山盛りでお願いします。
Ryder and I exchange glances. It looks like we have the same thing in mind, but some things are better left unsaid.
ライダーはもうお茶碗からだけど。
私は一杯で結構です。セイバーほどの消化器官は持ち合わせてはいませんし、燃費が悪いわけでもない。
Ooh, burn.
お茶をいただいていますので、さくらも食事に専念してください。
Ryder pours tea for herself. Sipping hot tea silently really does seem to fit her.
燃費が悪いとは聞き捨てなりませんね、ライダー。私とて必要最低限であれば一杯で十分だ。ですが、こうして用意された以上残すこともないでしょう。兵糧は無駄にしてはいけませんし、何より
ふろふき大根美味しいよね。あ、セイバーちゃん食べないならちょうだい。
お断りします。
いや、
何よりせっかくさくらが用意してくれた食事です。簡単に済ますのは心苦しい。美味しい料理は素直に心の赴くままいただくものです。
I feel that what Saber said is a perfectly logical, wonderful opinion. Or I would, if only she hadn't asked for a third serving already. People, you really shouldn't overdo things.
あれ、今日の味噌汁なんか味違うね。シローが手伝ったんじゃないでしょう。なんかバラバラな感じ。味が濃いくせにじゃがいもは細かくきれいにカットされてる。下手なのに繊細。駆け出しの彫刻師みたい。
Oh,
ああ、いや、
complaining about Ryder's cooking.
変わったことをしとかないとな。
ふん、私は前のが好きだけど、まあこっ
Yes, it's implied that Saber did that to protect her food.
セラが作る和風料理もこんな感じだし。
She protect and she snack. Ryder slumps in relief. I didn't exactly lie. What I was trying to hide is the fact that today's miso soup was made by our very own Ryder. When I go to the kitchen this morning, Sakura and Ryder were already there. Saber and I laid out the tableware, all while watching Ryder in her desperate battle in front of the miso soup pot.
藤村先生、そろそろ時間です。文化祭の準備会始まっちゃいますよ。
Frickin' school festivals. Feels like they're always doing a school festival if you at least watch anime.
食後のお茶さえも楽しめないのか、教員生活。
Fujine rose up, holding the helmet for Tiger No. 1 in her hand.
じゃあさくらちゃん、先に行ってるわね。シロウも遅刻しないように来るのよ。進学しないからってあんまり気を抜いてサボらないように。
And so, the single female English teacher in her 20s waved at us with a smile and ran off. Since the cultural festival is closing in, lately Fujine has been leaving early. The same goes for Sakura, the succeeding captain of the archery club. But due to the festival, the regular morning training was reduced to a short meeting. Because of that, she had 30 more minutes of free time than usual.
文化祭、もうすぐですね。姉さんもそれまでに帰ってこられればいいんですけど。
そうだな。夏休み中に帰ってくるなんて言っておきながら、もう10月だし。あっちでなんかあったのかな、遠坂。
More like, it'd be nice if she didn't cause anything to happen. Seriously.
リンが長期滞在してるのは自業自得よ。だいたい1ヶ月で済むわけないじゃない。宝石圏の真似事をして失敗したのよ。
The cultural festival is an important tradition for Japanese schools because they allow the students to pretty much self-govern to a certain degree. They have to, like, answer to the president with their proposals and fill out forms and have a budget and do all this stuff. That whole process in itself is an exercise in teamwork and maturity, kind of like a preparatory for the real world to a degree. And so they like to do that, and it's always pretty big and important. It's not... oh.
まあリンには100年早いから万が一なんて起きないだろうけど、もし第二魔法を暴発させてたらそれこそどうなってたことか。
So one of the justifications so far that they seem to give for why this is happening is that they tried to imitate the jewel sword again and screwed up and caused an explosion that basically made Kaleidoscope fuck everything up and create like a new universe in which everyone's happy and no one's dead. That's one of the examples being put forth here. Although there's a bit more to it. Ilya is genuinely disgusted. Well, I guess it's normal to be angry if all of that happened in your own castle. Let's go back 2 months. One day in the midst of summer holidays, Tosaka said, as enthusiastic as ever.
ロンドンに行く身としては切り札が必要でさ。なんでも今期は鬼人が多いって言うし、極東の田舎者としては貫禄の一つでもつけとかないとね。
She tried slapping together, well... Knowing Tosaka, though, she probably had taken great care in preparation. A pendant. A super miniature version of the jewel sword that can monitor waves from parallel worlds. Oh god. Kablammy! And messed up completely and utterly, on a scale that us mere mortals could never imagine. The result? All the data and materials she had collected, including the money she had to borrow from Sakura to purchase them, went poof. According to Elia, the fact that even she survived meant that she was a monster. After looking at her bank book, though, that monster turned into something more like the living dead.
エミヤ君、アルバイト先紹介して。
Back then, things were still relatively okay, despite her saying things like that, but one day something major happened. That was the price of meddling in sorcery in what came to be called the Winchester event. Later.
さすがに今回はピンチだわ。このままだと封印指定を受けちゃうかもしれない。その前にねじれちゃったところを直さないと。
With that, she journeyed to the clock tower, the headquarters of magic.
けどさ、あれって結局どういうことだったんだ？単にイリアの城がしっちゃかめっちゃかになっただけだろ？
It's kind of a half-assed comedic excuse at this point.
リンは武器として加工してない得意点をぶっ放しちゃって、この町はちょっとしたターミナルになりかけたんだから。因果率が狂って事象が合成して未来の次に過去がつながりそうになったって言えばわかる？
要するに何でもありの世界になりかけたってことか。
わかりやすく言えばね。厳密に言うとこの町で起こりうる可能性なら全て引き寄せられた世界になりかけたってこと。
Stella, no one's talking about you. No one had any reason to talk to you. All the possible outcomes draw in, huh? Like winning first place in the lottery, or aliens coming from Earth, or true immortality being perfected, or everyone suddenly coming to kill me. In other words, a morbid joke that had a small chance of occurring, actually happening.
なるほど、それであんなことに。けど、あれはそういうのとはちょっと違ったような。
Oh, I mean, it was a world that was flat-out copy of a children's fairy tale. I mean, it's a world that was the same one from Dogson's Alice. I mean, it was pretty much a real-life version of May's survival.
あれには私たちも驚きました。リンがしようとしたことは人の手に余ることです。
Said its victim quietly. Actually, not only Ryder, but everyone here, plus one other, were victimized by it.
どうしたさくら？なんかあったのか？
If you're putting a donut in the microwave, don't put it for too long, like 10 seconds, yeah. 20, 30 was too much.
いえ、大したことじゃないんです。
You have to hit time first.
ライダーが言ってたことで少し。
That works. Sakura trailed off. Well, if she says so, I'll just nod and leave it at that. Or more like, I was planning to.
聖杯戦争って言葉でしょ。さくらが反応したのは。なんだ、気づいてないのかと思ってたけど、まだ半信半疑だっただけか。
If you want to play the Fate visual novel, if you download the patch and everything, like I told you from, well, maybe I didn't tell you, but I mentioned it on my Discord and such, but I can also say it here, but if you download the Beast Slayer patch, it has the Rialta Nua version of the game, and you have the opportunity to choose to leave it in Rialta Nua or to add the H scenes back in. It's totally your choice. In this game, its H scenes -1 apparently are all optional. You actually have to go out of your way to read them, so as long as you don't go into the Eclipse section of the menu, you'll be fine. The Child of Winter did not overlook that comment.
聖杯戦争がどうしたんだよ、イリア。もう半年も前のことだろ、それは。
そうかしら。少なくともサーバントたちはそう思っていないんじゃないかしら。ねえセイバー、ライダー、あなたたちならこの空気に気づいているわよね。ライダー、セイバーさんも何か知っているんですか？
If you go to literally any of my YouTube videos, it's in the description.
いえ、
Yes.
私は何も。
Hi, I'm an admin.
ただ、イリアの言う通り、この町の空気が張り詰めていることは承知しています。小さな、本当に些細な違和感なので、様子を見ていたのですが。
Yeah, our Discord's pretty chill. Mostly filled with, like, fate lewds and things like that. Which is never bad. A minor sense of discord? Oh, that is so funny. What are you saying? Why is Ryder mentioning something so plainly obvious?
セイバーはライダーの言ってることわかるか？
はい。憶測に過ぎないことですが。
If Ryder looks like a librarian, I need to start going to more libraries. I nod silently. What? What about a library? When? Well, I know I can, but that's the reason you'd go. Hey, baby. Wanna read this adult novel together? I know. I'm reading all sorts of Nasuverse nonsense. And even then you have to read the descriptions. Imagine you meet a real-life writer in a library. Well, I'm married. If we're talking real life, I'm a happily person.
You're a happily person?
I'm a happily married person, and I fucked it up. You guys are having too much fun. Saber and Ryder glare at each other. What are they saying? What they're saying is extremely simple.
I want to know more about this.
No, I fucked up the sentence. I can't word properly. We aren't concerned with whys and hows yet. The evidence points to this conclusion. It's because I keep trying to say two things at once. I'm really distracted. And I'm trying to read this too all at the same time. After all, most of the masters are still alive, the servants are still hanging around, and our command spells are still in good shape. I still have one left on my left hand. Why are you telling Sakura to shut up? On the couch outside? You're gonna take the couch, put it outside, and then make me sleep on the couch? That's awful. Ryder isn't complaining that I won, it's the complaint of making me the winner of a battle that I made sure had no winner. Which channel? You know what? Gaming, Nasuverse, I could respond in either of those. You could also PM me if you want. Ryder is looking at Ilya seriously. If fighting breaks out, Sakura will be put in harm's way. For that reason, Ryder must be feeling a sense of danger at the words resumption of the Holy Grail War.
シローの言う通りよ。確かに最近の冬季はどこかおかしいけど、そう目くじらを立てるほどのことじゃないわ。だいたいね、サーバントが聖杯戦争後も限界してるって時点でおかしいんだから、これぐらいの異常容認しないとやっていけないわよ。
そうそう、仮にライダーたちがいることでよからぬ企みを持ったやつが来て
So apparently there's some kind of Grail War resuming that we know nothing about, but it seems so unimportant to everyone that no one gives a shit. Interesting.
強者の条件って知ってるか？目立つやつは敵を作りやすいけど、その敵から当然のようにみんなを守れるやつを強者って言うんだ。腕が立つだけの人間はただの暴れん坊で、俺が知る限り2人は本当の意味での強者だと思うけど。
はい、またもシローの言う通り、今日のシローは物分かりが良くて100点満点です。
Should I be dancing in joy? Well, gee, I guess the usual me is always dense.
だから問題があるとしたらあなたたちよ、シェイバー、ライダー。あなたたち戦いを再開したいの？
断じてありません。まあライダーが戦うというのであれば受けて立ちますが、それはこちらのセリフです。あなたには幾度となく敗れてきた。あなたが私に機会をくれるのなら、借りを返しても構いませんが。
Sparks are flying between those two. For a short while, it looked like they finally got along, but I guess they're still rivals.
よかった。ま、発情期の猫じゃあるまいし、いくらあなたたちでも理由なく暴れたりしないものね。退屈だからって人間狩りをするような趣味もないだろうし。
イリアスピール、その例えはどうかと思う。私はそのような悪鬼ではない。まあ彼女には前例があるので、
as she does have a record. Saber's bad-mouthing Ryder. Ryder wanted to, but couldn't counter that argument. If it comes down to behaving like an animal, I don't think that Saber is any different, but I'll put that aside.
つまりどうなったんでしょう。
他の連中が襲ってくることもないだろうし、しばらくは様子を見よう。
Saber does not die. No one dies. In Hollow Ataraxia, it's the happy world.
まだ事件なんて起きてないんだし、無理に調べて回ることもないってことかな。
Yeah. It is a very happy place.
そうですね。あ、それじゃあ他のサーバントさんに聞いてみたらどうですか？ランサーさんとかよく街で見かけますけど。
Sakura just said something odd, but I don't mind at all. Yeah, Lancer does seem like he'll be willing to give me his impressions on what's going on.
では、私たちも折を見て調べてみることにしましょう。それとさくら、そろそろ登校の時間ですが。
あ、本当だ。ごめんなさい。すぐに片付けちゃいます。
いいえ。
No, Shirou is not useless. They do some stuff.
あなたは落ち着いて登校してください。
ありがとうライダー。それじゃあよろしくね。
Sakura is cheerfully getting ready to leave. Me though, I still have about 30 minutes left, so I'll go help Ryder.
行ってきます。先輩、サボっちゃダメですよ。
Sakura leaves hastily. This marks the end of our morning.
2人とも食器は流しに出しといてくれ。着替えてきてから一気にやっちまうから。
助かります。正直、洗い物はまだ苦手です。
Ryder isn't clumsy, she just can't get a hold of restraining her power. She's a plate breaker, just like Saber, but for a different reason. Anyway, I'll go back to my room, except...
シロ、先ほどの話ですが、夜の巡回をするのなら、 声をかけてください。
We'll patrol the city with Saber. It's a good day.
She also has the armor.
イリア・スピールはああ言っていましたが、私はどこか引っかかるのです。
Stun gauge, right? I have this perk that depletes her stun gauge faster too.
I am truly I am truly grateful for Saber's offer. I'm glad she said that. I know I shouldn't be, but a part of me is excited that things had returned to the way they were half a year ago.
わかった。折を見て夜に出かけるときは声をかけるよ。街の様子がおかしいっていうのは確かなんだし、万が一に備えてパトロールしよう。まあそもそもセイバー以外と巡回をするなんて考えられないけどな。
はい。あなたならそう言ってくれると信じていました。シロ。
That's what I should be saying. If Saber is with me, I won't be killed that easily. It's past 7:30 in the morning. Now, should I go to school or should I take it easy? Life has become a bit weird, but even though I'm getting excited, it isn't likely that I'd get to the bottom of this by myself.
気が向いたら調べてみるか。
Luckily, there's a 3-day weekend starting tomorrow. It'll be all pleasure and no pain. I'll just go about filling up those days without stressing out too much. And we are finally at the main part of the game, believe it or not. It's finally opened up to us to do whatever the hell we want to do. I'm not done, I'm just gonna save because I wanted to save. Whoa! Hello. What did I do? Did I break it? Did I really break it? Shoot. Let me reopen it. Wait, what the? Oof.
Alright. Yeah. Do you ever just say fuck affinity?
See, I don't know what it's trying to do right here, so shit. I think it's trying to play the movies and I didn't want it to. So I'll hit start instead. Same thing, so it's not a big deal. Okay, so we have the choice between Taiga and the school. You decide. The first to 5. First to 5.
Do I get a vote too?
Sure. Taiga or the school?
Taiga.
Okay, we got one for Taiga. Type. One for school, 2 for school, 3 for school, 4 for school, and 5 for school. Wow, you all want to go to fucking school.
I'm just doing that to spite you.
Go to school. Hey, you still get a choice between Taiga and student council president. Issei. God, why did I forget your name? So Taiga or Issei? Maybe I should... Okay, now Taiga. So you got Taiga, Taiga, Issei. Okay, we're gonna go see Taiga.
おはようございます、藤村先生。
Only when she's at school.
おはよう、みんな元気してる？
A relaxed morning greeting that does not befit a teacher. Well, if it is Fujine after all. Looking sharp really isn't like her, so it would bother me if she did.
困らないんだけど、傾いてるのはちょっと。
何か困ってるの、シロ？
Fujine noticed me inclining my head in doubt. Here, we're strictly teacher and student, but it's just before homeroom and class hasn't started yet.
いや、いつもの藤姉らしいなぁと。
私が教師らしくないと言いたいわけね、エミヤ君は。
それほどじゃないけど。あ、特に困ってることはないです、今は。
We see each other all the time and know each other's problems all too well. In that sense, you could even call it an ideal student-teacher relationship, where nothing needs to be hidden. Well, no, you couldn't. Being like siblings is a bit too close.
シロももっと真剣にならないとダメじゃない。
え、なんか俺に会ったか？
だって卒業までもう遠くないのに、まだシロったらフラフラしてるじゃない。ダメよ、ダメだよ。先生としては心配で。
Fujine keeps lamenting, but she doesn't sound very serious. I suppose that's why students find her easy to approach for all sorts of advice. It's easily one of her virtues.
シロももっと担任の先生を信用して相談しなさい。
今晩の晩飯のこととか？
あ、お肉がいいな。こうね、ガッツにはね、やっぱりタンパク質と脂質よね。
Early morning at school, and this is what we end up discussing. All of a sudden, a figure walks past like a shadow.
おはようございます、久月先生。
あ、おはようございます。
おはよう。
Mrs. Kuzuki, the strict ethics teacher. It's said that students admire him more with every year they spend in the school, and I was no exception. As I went into my third year, I began to appreciate his style.
藤村先生、今月の予定に関してですが、
文化祭の準備と中間試験ですね。あと定例の教職会議がいつになってました？
今日の夕刻です。3年の進路指導のこともあります。
わかりました。進路は大変ですね。でも久月先生は教え子さんたちに慕われてますから。
Yes, Taiga loves her meat. Fujine is holding a very professional conversation. I almost instinctively rub my eyes to make sure I'm not dreaming.
いえ、藤村先生ほど辛抱を集められてはおりません。
そんなことないですよ。ほら、エミヤ君がそんなことないって顔してますよ。
Ben, are you saying you like a thick taiga? Because that's a shame. She was perfect in this visual novel. Don't just dump it on me, but I can't horse around like usual in front of Kuzuki.
久月先生は真剣に頼れる先生だと思います。
そうか。信頼に応えられるよう努力しよう。では。
Kuzuki heads toward the classroom. The moment his slim figure disappears down the hallway, the two of us breathe a collective sigh of relief, and she pats me on the shoulder.
いやね、もうシロったらいい子ぶって。
そういう藤姉だっていきなり猫かぶるなよ。という。
何よその言い方。まるで私がダメな子みたいじゃない。ダメな子？なんか女の子っぽい？
The idea of being called a girl apparently pleases her, so she repeats it a few times.
間違いなくな。そんなダメな子に育てられたんだから、俺もダメな子なんだろうか。
Looks like you wasted all the pre-homeroom time on this.
あ、時間だ。シローはダメな子じゃないわよ。さあ、教室に行きましょう。
Thick is not my forte.
そりゃ
You're what? Whoa. She dashes forward with an odd battle cry. No way! What happened to the serious teacher just now?
ほらほら、間に合わないと遅刻だぞ、エミヤくん。
Believe it or not, there are no routes in Hollow Ataraxia. We will get to every single event in time. And the order does not matter, so don't worry. So it's noon. We're stuck at school. Sakura or Shinji? You get to choose. First to 5.
Sakura.
Okay. 1 for Sakura. We have to wait because there's a bit of a delay. We got a Sakura 2. 1 for Shinji. 1 for Seihai-kun. What? Sakura. Why is somebody saying Seihai-kun? He's not here. Well, you're saying that because he became the Grail, but fuck. Got it. Okay. Slow down. Okay. Yeah, no Sakura won that round. Kirei is not an option. I stopped by the archery dojo. During the lunch break, Sakura does the preparations for club activities here.
Senpai, konnichiwa.
Just as I thought, the new archery club captain was already hard at work.
よ、昼も部活とはご苦労様。
ちょっと違うんですよ。今日はお昼を食べに来ただけです。
そうか。あ、いや、そろそろ大会前の教練の時期だと思ったから。
I'm going to be fat and sassy. Pizza. It could be fun. What do you think, Ari-chan? Well, no, Ari-chan, we still have so much stuff in the fridge we need to eat. So I'm gonna say no. I'm sorry. You're free to get a pizza. I've heard that at the champion schools, even at lunchtime, they take their bows and try to fill up the training logs. The archery club at Homurahara isn't normally that strict, but that can't be said about this season.
そうですね。そろそろ秋の大会もありますから。
去年も三つ釣りがいろいろ言ってたな。代表が足りないとか。
確かに昇格が惜しいところだったんですけど、今年はいいところまで行くと思います。1年生で達者な子がいるんです。
From the rumors I've heard, she's probably talking about Mitsuzuri's younger brother. At any rate, Sakura's smile looks promising.
ああ、ところでさくら、昼食はいつもここで？
道場版は私がこなしてるんですよ。
Kirei is not in this game. He is mentioned in this game, but his ass is dead.
それに
Yodo Kobe.
鍵も預かってますから。
それはお疲れ様。で、
Sakura's lunchbox is, well, it sure is an awful lot of food for just one person.
先輩、上がって一緒にお昼にしませんか？
いいのか？俺の分の弁当あるのか？
と先輩の分も用意してあります。ここに誘おうと思ってたところにちょうど来てくれたんでよかったです。
そりゃ助かる。ではありがたくさくらのお弁当をいただきます。
はい、では先輩どうぞ上がってください。やっぱり秋は涼しいですね、ここ。
吹きさらしの屋上と違って三方に壁があってちょうどいいしな。さて。
Ariel, could you put headphones on?
I don't have any headphones. I was trying to find them.
What were you using before?
These.
Oh. I've got a pair of headphones.
Is that okay?
Well, you just turned it down?
Yeah.
I hope so. As long as I don't have to hear anything about the mines. I sit on the plank floor at the back of the dojo. Yeah, it would be interesting to see Artoria be a student, although she's lived a longer life than that.
Dai, that's already a thing.
I know. I know it's a thing. I have a figure of her as such. Seems that Mitsuzuri and Tosaka also often drink tea here Jesus Christ. Tea here, though.
先輩、座布団持ってきます。
いや、大丈夫。元部員が座布団にふんぞり返って座ってたら、後で三つ釣りあたりに笑われる。
そうですか。先輩はお客様ですから使ってもいいんですけど。
Sakura's the current captain. There's no way I'll sit this one out while she's around. Yet she still keeps fidgeting and won't settle down.
審判座はどうですか、先輩。
あの畳に上がって飯食うのも変だし、ここでいい。
わかりました。じゃあお昼にしましょう。
Sitting down on the floor beside me, Sakura passes me the lunchbox. Whoa, there's a lot of food in here.
それでは、いただきます。お世話になりっぱなしです。
いえいえ。
How many figures do I have?
再々ですから。
The exact count? Shit, I don't know. Enough to fill a big glass container. I have a whole video that shows off my figures, so you can check that out if you really want to know. And just know that I have more than what was in that video. I've been collecting for quite a while. Picking up my chopsticks, I open the box. Salmon on top of white rice and chicken stew. Distinctly Japanese style.
すみません。朝ごはんの流用品が多くて。
いや、あれだけ忙しい中で作れば当然だ。俺なんか朝飯と同じものを昼飯で食ってることもあった。
After getting off my part-time job, I was exhausted and usually didn't have the energy to fix something different for lunch. All of that changed when Sakura came.
藤ねなんか下手すると3食同じもの食ってても気がつかないし。
そうですか？結構藤村先生はそのあたり繊細じゃないことを思うんですけど。
Ramen, that's inappropriate. How dare you?
気持ちよくお腹いっぱいになるかどう
She's
か
a
だ。
lady.
藤ねは。
あ、そうだ先輩。今度は藤村先生のお弁当も作った方がいいですかね。
間違いなく喜ぶが、甘やかしちゃいかん、癖になると過去の経験が物語っている。
はあ、いろいろ大変だったんですね、先輩も。
Shirou can... Okay, so I have to be more careful because I accidentally told a friend that you could bang everyone, but no, you can't. Obviously, you can't bang Ilya, and Medea is with her husband of sorts, so you can't bang her. What? Nope, Kuzuki's around. Kirei's dead. But he doesn't fuck anyone, so you don't have to worry. I nodded as I chewed thoroughly on the sweet salmon, still full of flavor despite being chilled. With a Japanese-style lunchbox, this is good. Sakura's cooking is exceeding all expectations.
ライダーも
You
お
will be
弁
my
当を
waifu
作れるようにな
successor.
らないかな。
You may not be best housewife, but you will be close.
どうだろうな。言えば黙々とチャレンジしてくれるんだけど、なんか義務って感じで楽しそうじゃないし。
You shouldn't want to bang Ilya. No.
ライダーと一緒にお料理できれば楽しいんですけどね。
Don't do it.
でもやっぱり先輩と一緒が一番勉強になります。
Looks like Sakura thought she hurt my feelings and is trying to hide it with a smile. It's fine. Even with 3 people in the kitchen, it'll work out somehow. Continuing to consume our respective lunches, I suddenly noticed something. Could it be?
さくら、もしかして弁当間違えてないか?
Is Koi no Katachi a good anime? Fuck yes.
え、そうですか? でもお箸は合ってますよ。
あれ、そうか。なんかさくらの弁当の方が大きい気がしたから。
It may be because it was on top of Sakura's small thighs, but her lunchbox looked really large.
でも間違えても同じですよ。
これ大きさも中身も同じ?
Ah, that must be why it looked bigger. Wait, but then...
あ、てっきりさくらは少ないのかなとか。
でもほら、私と同じ量だと先輩午後にお腹減っちゃうじゃないですか。
そうか。でもそうなるとさくらには多くないか。
Man, these FBI jokes are getting old. Her lunch had at least 80% more than the amount I had.
普通ですよ、普通。私もこれくらいなら全然平気です。
普通、そうか。普通だったんだ。
I often hear about girls skipping lunch entirely, but...
そうですね。やっぱり運動しているからでしょうね。私がたくさん食べても大丈夫なのは。
And she's not fucking real. You're right, she's not fucking real. I'm not against lolis. I do not have a fetish for that, but I can respect those who do, and just say, keep it within the realm of fiction. So the secret to losing weight isn't cutting back on what you eat, but rather using more energy. Wait, but it doesn't seem like Sakura is really worried about that, in fact.
それにですね、先輩。私たちまだまだ育ち盛りですよね。
Shirou, Sakura is not going to grow fat. She's eating rice. Sakura's... You...
It does. It's got carbs. Sorry. I'm Joey, baby.
She'll be fine. When she tells me something like that, it makes me wonder what part of her she's referring to. Without realizing it, I stop moving my chopsticks and look down. This is not good. This fantasy is not appropriate for a sacred archery dojo.
先輩、鮭塩が強すぎました?
Lolis aren't a fetish, fam. They're a way of life. Oh, jeez.
いや、弁当はうまいし、さくらの料理も上手だ。育ち盛りって、ほら、ちょっと考えてただけ。ほら、なんだ、この年になって、
She is pregnant.
まだ背が伸びるのか
Why
な
can't people
とかな。
spell pregnant right? It's like...
昔より先輩、
No, no,
背
it's
が
in the
伸びてます
chat.
よね。
It's like the
これからも伸び
Discord.
るんじゃないでしょ
Or
うか。
not the Discord, it's like the meme, rather. That's...
もっと欲しいんだよな、背。
Pregnant.
こればっかりは鍛えて伸びるものじゃないから仕方ないか。
気にしすぎですよ。今でも先輩はしっかりしてて頼りがいがありますから。
It's blatant flattery, but I'm still glad to hear it. No, there's this hilarious meme, or WebM, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. He's like reading all these Yahoo Answers questions, and it was just hilarious because he was pronouncing them literally as written, and all the misspellings were funny. Is pregante. Right now, there's nothing I can do but stay focused. If I become strong enough to lift Sakura up with one arm, maybe I'd be able to accept her compliments sincerely.
あ、お茶汲んできましょうか。
欲しい欲しい。まだ時間があるし、ゆっくり一服してから戻ろうか。
はい、先輩。
Well, chocolate in its raw form is more nutritious, yes. But most of the chocolate you're gonna consume is like Hershey's and shit, and that has like all sorts of extra fat and added sugar. Oh, we have to go Baito. Fine, let's go Baito. As I start preparing dinner, I glance outside and notice that the sun is already set. Dropped like a rock is an apt expression. Looks like the sunset waits for no man.
Shirou, お風呂洗っといたわよ。使ってないバスタオルどこ？
セイバーに聞いてくれ。洗濯物の片付けはセイバーの仕事。
Yes, I saw that in one of Markiplier's videos. That's where I first saw it, actually. I reply while pounding out a steady rhythm with my kitchen knife. That's what you're pounding? There's a lot of clattering in the living room behind me.
先輩、お醤油切れてます。商店街まで買い出しに行ってきますね。
もう遅いし、買い出しは明日にしよう。藤年地からち
You
ょっと
can't
分
miss
けてもらえ
anything
ば
in
いい
this
よ。
game, believe it or not.
イリア、さくらと一緒に。
Wait, Ilya's not here. Though she leads the assault with Fujine in the morning, she often isn't here during dinner. When she does come, it's usually when everyone's relaxing after having already finished dinner.
では私が同伴しましょう。今朝の話もある。夜道の一人歩きは危険です。
セイバー。あ、
What do you mean, where are we now? I'm kind of confused.
ライダーが行くと藤年とこの若い衆さんが怖がるから
Clearly, it's Shirou's kitchen. I sense a quick nod from the two of them. Oh, wait, whoops. They grab a large empty bottle and merrily head for the Fujimura group.
シロ、調理中にすまないのですが。
Ryder appears as if to replace the two who just left. The punctual Ryder won't show her face in the living room before 7 o'clock. Until then, she stays in her room, immersed in reading.
はいよ、何？
シロの留守中、ゴシップの定期購入をしろと見知らぬ人物が訪ねてきました。断ったのですが、まだ諦めない。取ってくれるまで毎日来ると不屈の闘志を燃やしているのです。率直に言って、あれは敵とみなして良いのでしょうか？
Yes, the door-to-door salesman is your enemy.
いいな、断じて見なしてはいけない。
Ryder's like, this dude came to the door trying to sell tabloids. He's very persistent. Why? Because it would cause fatalities? Treat others kindly. Treat yourself kindly. Ryder seems patient, but she has zero tolerance towards enemies. Her classification of someone as friend or enemy happens amazingly quick. Saber is also rather similar in this aspect. Her face. Despite having some leeway in her definition of enemy, once acknowledged, Saber won't show any mercy either.
わかりました。自信はありませんが、明日もおとなしく彼の話を聞いています。
無理に付き合う必要ないぞ。新聞ならもう撮ってるって言えば3ヶ月はやってこないからその方向で。もしくはさくらを呼べば即時解決。
さくらですか？しかし、ああいった出会いはさくらも苦手だと思いますが。
苦手なものって克服できるらしい。さくらの新聞勧誘の交わし方はすごいぞ。見ているこっちが怖くなるぐらい。
In her suggestive, passive manner, she grabs the weed by the very roots and then, at the very last moment, cuts it thoroughly with a smile on her face. No man can withstand the shock of hearing, "You should be going soon, before I call the police, okay?" with that smile of hers. A passive-aggressive style of defense, along the lines of Kyoto native offering a guest with bubuzuke as a sign that they have overstayed their welcome. I actually don't know what that is. Bubuzuke? That's what it said. B-U-B-U-Z-U-K-E. Anyway, Sakura is really good at getting rid of door-to-the-door people. She's like vicious with a smile.
セイバーと一緒に藤村組だ。すぐ帰ってくるから、
Pregger
娘
not.
とテレビでも見ててくれ。
盛り付けの手伝いはしなくてよろしいのですか？
いや、気持ちだけで十分。今日は大皿一枚で事足りるから。
Lightly bowing, Ryder returns to the living room.
ライダーさん何するのよ。せっかく手に入れた伝説のラケットレインボーガッデムのお披露目なのに。
Racket Rainbow, goddamn.
すみません。こちらのニュースが見たかったもので。
That's what you watch? I want to watch a show called Rocket Rainbow, goddamn.
うわ、明確すぎてもはや理由になってね。なんでよ。退屈しないわよそのアニメ。ラケットのくせにフロッピーとかピザとかレーザー砲を内包したマット兵器とか使ってね、もう面白いとかつまらないとか超越した次元の作品なんだから。
Quietly nodding in response to Fujine's explanation, Ryder still ruthlessly changes the channel. She has said that reading is part of her life and watching TV is just a simple hobby of hers.
しかし、なんだな。
It's gotten really lively in here. Food hasn't even been served, and it's this noisy already? How much worse will it get once dinner starts? It's just after 9 p.m., and dinner's already over. There are no major events, and everyone returned to their rooms. It's too early to go to bed, so what should I do in the meantime? One, two, or three. First to 5.
Wait, what are the options?
Hang around Emiya residence, call it a day, or go out for a walk.
Go out for a walk.
Okay, so you got 3. Got 3, 3, 3, 3. Everyone wants to go for a fucking walk.
It's healthy, die.
Alone. We don't have a choice. We have to go by ourselves. I'll go check the situation in town. Saber may have said otherwise, but if you're not alone, there will probably be things that you'll miss. I do my best to sneak outside. The Emiya residence surroundings are peaceful and quiet. Nothing is out of the ordinary.
なるほど。これは半年前の再現になるんだ。
Why did I go outside alone? Why am I not bringing Saber along? It all makes sense once I look at it from a stranger's perspective. No matter how harmless it may seem, if I were to exercise proper judgment, I would not be walking out alone. Even though there are no enemies, the reality is that there is something odd happening to this town. So the reason I'm out here on my own, nonetheless, must be that I plan to use myself as live bait to draw out anything abnormal. It's pretty tough not knowing what I intend to do until I've done it, if I do say so myself.
気まぐれで選んだんだけどな。ま、何事も経験だ。
Gazing at the night sky, I start walking. If I feel danger, I'll just go back to the house right away, then I'll quietly return to my room and wait until tomorrow. I look up at the moon! It's made of cheese. The sky has cleared, and the white moonlight is cutting through the darkness. Well then, Hopefully I'll find some clear evidence of abnormality that even someone as thick-headed as me can recognize. Temple, intersection, south or north?
North.
This is probably not all that important a decision at all, so... So we got one for the temple, one for north. North. Temple, temple, oh, temple. Temple. People can't spell temple. Temple. The temple gate stands in silence. The stone steps seem to go on forever into the night sky. Somehow I can picture them leading to the heavens. But fortunately the moon is not overhead, so the stairs connect properly right up to Ryudo Temple, and not to another world. I peek inside through the gate. Hello? Issei's like, what the fuck are you doing? There's nothing unusual about the temple grounds. I'd like to go investigate more, but that would require stepping onto the premises. And so stands the servant still guarding the gate.
あんたも暇なんだな。もうここを守る必要はないのに、律儀に役割を果たしている。それとも何か？もしかして仏像泥棒とか多い？
盗人はとんと見かけるが、違うものならよく通るぞ。そら、今もお前の横を通り過ぎた。
Kiara is a major boss, if not the final boss, right, of Fate Extra CCC. She's like an extremely lewd nun girl. She's nuts. Naturally, there's no one around. I only felt a chilling yet warm wind brush by my cheek. You say that, but you just did ghost stories at the temple. What the fuck? Or maybe that's how it is. Servants are spirits. Maybe they do see those things.
もしかして本当に出るのか？
出るとも、お前が気づかないだけだ。私も生前は真っ当な百姓だったからな。霊感などあるわけもなし、同業を見るのはここに来てからのことになるな。
My servant waifu is Artoria. I see. Well, as long as I can't see either one, or can't even see one, I suppose no harm can come from them either. If ghosts really can harm people, it would be the ones who can actually see. If there's no form, it probably can't kill you.
知りたければ、一度死んでみることだ。ここの女狐ならば、臨死程度、二つ返事で引き受けると思う
な。お断りだよ。キャスターは今一つ信用ならない。なんか、初めは善意で引き受けてくれるけど、仕事中に悪知恵ひらめいて土壇場で裏切りそうな気がする。
違いない。あれがサーバントのいでたちをしているときは気をつけるがいい。
Castor used to be good-hearted, probably, but a lifetime in the shadows left her stained deeply with spite. Despite reforming, she still puts on her wicked grin from time to time. If I were to rank her on the list of servants to never let your guard down against, she would be first or second.
しかし、今宵は何用だ。つまらぬ用向きなら昼にしろ。門番たる責務はないが、霊樹の縛りは働いていてな。この時間に外から来る者には加減できん。
ああ、そうか。あんた霊樹でここを守ってるんだっけ？
From the beginning, the Holy Grail War meant nothing for this servant. Assassin is just a swordsman that intercepts enemies trying to pass through the gate. Irregularities in town have nothing to do with him. It must not interest him very much either.
帰るよ。退屈の邪魔をしてすまなかった。
なんだ、冷やかしであったのか。
あんたが守ってるなら大丈夫。今度来るとき覚えてたら土産でも持ってくるよ。
I turned my back to the temple gate.
それはならば耳麗しい花を一つ、いや二つ所望しよう。不満があるわけではないが、こう月ばかりでは男が廃るというものだからな。
Bring saber and rider, huh? Is it boldness or just idle curiosity? If anybody could try to hit on 2 former enemy servants, it would be this guy. Well, I guess it's not that unlikely. On some lovely moonlit spring evening, by some mistake, who knows, a night party like that might just happen. I guess it's about time to go back. It's not like I only have tonight. There's time tomorrow, too. I return to the Emiya residence. It seems the end of the night has been postponed for a little longer. A day has ended. Sprawling on the bed, I let fatigue take over my body. Mild drowsiness is numbing out my mind. What a release. Since that incident, I can't trust my consciousness being separated from me. Ew. Sleep. It's a rite of passage from the closing of one day to the reopening of the next. A natural thing for anybody, a recurring memory hole. Limp and powerless, I'm falling into that abyss.
さて、明日は何をしたもんかな。
There are all sorts of things to think about, and things that have to be done, but all of that can be decided once tomorrow comes. For the time being, let's just call it a day. There's nothing, but we must go to the streets. School or saber? School or saber? Yes, school or saber. Saber. We got 3 sabers. We only need 2 to go. Saber, question mark? Okay, so that's 5. Saber. Good. A question mark 1 still counts.
海を見ていました。
Saber looked back and said so. There was nothing else to see. I came here on a whim, and the first figure I saw was Saber's. An aquamarine skirt with a white blouse, and that shining blonde hair. Even from far away, I knew it was Saber. I walked over to her side and stood in silence for a while. Her first time on the seashore? Probably not. As she's just gazing into the distance, random thoughts come to mind. Yeah, no way. Saber's hometown must have been on the coast too.
この国の海は穏やかですね、シロ。
え、ああ、ここは内海だからな。遠くに行けばもっと荒い海もあるよ。
That is, on a peninsula that's breaking up the Pacific Ocean's Kuroshino Current, as if rushing towards the rough waters of the Sea of Japan. That must be one magnificent sight. Taking her to a place like that is one of my dreams.
私の故郷の海は風が逆まくと、まるで銭湯の白馬がたてがみを逆立てて走るようでした。あるいは白亜の岬の上から遠くの陸地を眺めれば、海霧の向こうに長く続く対岸が見えた。
What's up?
Real quick, you don't need Tom's essence, right?
I don't think so. Now, if it's making your character better, go for it. It is early in the fall, a calm day. Yet, Saber's words somehow brought that scenery to my mind. Nothing like the docile ocean in front of us, but something harsh and solemn. I steal a glance at Saber's face. The conflicted memories of her hometown left a bittersweet taste in the air.
いつか私の国に平和が訪れれば、船に乗って異国の大地を見てみたかった。
Maybe I said that wrong, my bad.
大陸から来る騎士たちの語るガリアの黄金の平原。エリンの民の住まうヒベルニアの緑の丘。あるいは銀融詩人たちの語る歌に編まれた遠い大地に私の旗を翻し未知の文物をこの目に収めたかった。
I have no words to answer her with. I have no right to speak of dreams she could not realize.
そういうことを思い出していました。私は恵まれている。未練ではなく良き思い出としてこうして眺めることができるなんて。私はかつての国を思い、シローのいる国で今も記憶をつなげている。
Saber turns around. The sea breeze envelops her arms like a blessing.
この地は私を包み込むように暖かくていい。いずこの大地も住めば都と言いますから。
Do I play tabletop RPGs? No, I have not gotten into that, and I don't see myself getting into that. It takes a lot of dedication.
たとえ時代は変わってしまっても、あの緑の丘には私たちが生きた時代の息吹が残っていると信じたい。
Aww. I want to go see Artoria's homeland with her. Hope that resembles envy. Just as before, I cannot find the right words to say.
シロ、どうしたのです？辛そうな顔をして。何かあなたを困らせるようなことを口にしてしまったのでしょうか？
そうじゃなくて、セイバーがそんな風に故郷の話をするのが初めてだったから。
The town that Saber spoke of has a sweet smell of fantasy and green grass. What if I'm abroad, telling the story of the town in Fuyuki? What would it smell like? I start pondering.
故郷は遠くにありて思うものだったっけ？
誰の歌かは知りませんが、その郷愁はわかります。誰しも離れてみなければ自分がどこにいたのかはわかりませんから。
ああ、それは。
I feel like I've heard this before. Just like breaking something you haven't really valued before. You can't turn it back to the way it was, but instead of regret, you realize just how important it was to you.
離れてみるまではわからないか。けど、なんていうかな。この町で育って、この町で暮らすのが当たり前すぎてさ。どこか遠くに行っても、結局はここが帰りたい場所のような気がするよ。
はい。その言葉にはシローのあり方を感じる。異国で故郷を思いながらも、あなたの心はこの町にあるのです。それが正しい。誰にとっても故郷とはそういったものなのですから。
I nod at Saber's words. There's not a single person who does not love the land they were born and raised in. It may not be the kind of love one can express freely, but rather a subconscious instinct that one simply cannot defy. However, even then, beyond the ordinary, souls that hate everything must also exist. Undermine you! It must be the sun. I feel a bit dizzy. For once, I've met Saber at the harbor, and ended up pondering about hometowns and things, completely outside of my character. Time for a change of pace.
そうだ、セイバー、魚好きだよな。
Hey, Saber. Want some fish?
ええ、
特定のものを除けば好みですが、もしやシロ、ここの港には魚市場があると？
いや、さすがにない。ああ、でも秋の魚はいいな。サンマにユズ。
この国の情緒ですね。はい。
Thus, the menu for tonight has been decided. I'd love to get some nice fatty ones, but, well, this season's fish is great no matter what. And in the end, you could say that it's like the cook's job to draw out the true flavor. But as you'd expect, not a single guy is fishing all day long now.
期待しています、シロ。
ああ、尽力しますと。セイバーはどっか寄ってくところはあるのか？
いいえ、特にはありません。
I will now proceed to pleasure myself with this fish. You haven't seen that?
No.
It shows Suzaku from Code Geass holding the fish, and there's subtitles. Urged on by Saber, I leave the harbor behind. The sea breeze pushes at my back. From beyond the horizon, even the wind from a faraway foreign country blowing over this land must return to its birthplace one day. Wallpaper, huh? Wallpaper. Wallpaper! Ooh. Sakura? Woof woof. The Emiya residence or the temple? Actually, I think we can go to the Emiya residence without staying there. Okay. Yeah. Sakura, woof woof, Emiya or temple? So we got 2 for Ku, 3 for Ku, 4 for Ku, 5 for Ku.
I'm like, I don't remember there being a dog in Hollow Ataraxia.
At the harbor, there's a familiar face. Lancer can be found anywhere, but in the afternoon, this is where he devotes himself to his hobby. Well, what should I ask him about? Ask about the heavens feel. He's like, oh, is that where you put your fingers in that one spot? I should really ask for that guy's take on things after all. He's one of the more warlike servants. He might gladly adapt to this current situation as long as it means he gets to fight.
Huh? 誰かと思えばセイバーのマスターか。俺も気を抜きすぎかね。一瞬誰かと思ったぜ。
How the hell can he call that being out of it? I was approaching him stealthily from behind, but he noticed me from 10 meters away as if it was nothing.
似合わねえからアサシンの真似事なんざするな。第一盗み取ろうにもまだ一匹も釣れてねえぞ。どうも今日は当たりが薄い。夕食の調達なら他を渡ってくれ。
His whole body is built for surviving. Be it land, sea, or mountains. He'll live as he pleases anywhere. Until, in every fate route, he dies. It's unusual to see him come up broke. But that's not the issue here.
夕食の調達ってなんでだよ。
そりゃお前のところに提供してるからだろう。夕方になると元気な姉ちゃんがやってきて、生きのいいやつちょうだいなんてバケツ一杯持ってくぞ。
それはご迷惑をおかけしました。
Yes, you're absolutely right. I should do all the new events before the exclamations. So, for now, it'll be a choice between those.
というか、藤根の土産に魚が多くなった原因がこんなところに。世の中狭すぎる。
それが人の不思議ってもんだ。まあ、あの姉ちゃんそのものが不思議の塊だが。で、飯が目的じゃねえなら何しに来やがった小僧。
Just as I thought. He's still a servant no matter what. Seeing that he adapted to the town's life even better than Saber and others, I thought he'd gotten complacent, but I guess not.
何しにって、真面目な話をしに来たんだよ。ランサー、あんた今の状況をどう思ってる？
Or to begin
どう
with,
してまだこっちに留まっているんだ？
Lancer is Kotomine's servant, but Kotomine Kire has been dead for over half a year. Servants cannot exist after losing their masters, therefore, just the fact that Lancer is still here is highly unusual.
どうしても何もマスターと契約しているからだろう。ギルガメッシュの野郎はともかく、俺にはマスターなしで限界できる力はないぜ。
契約って、だって琴峰は
死んでるな。確かに奴はくたばったが、どういうわけだか契約は続いててな。俺もそのあたりは気になるんだが、ま、こうしてあるんだからいいじゃねえか。生きてることを悩んでもしょうがねえだろ。汝あるがままを行えってな。細かいことは気にするな。悩み
Jeez, the scales sure have fallen from my eyes. He's already aware the situation isn't normal, but he is who he is. He'll just keep doing as he pleases. That's the kind of spirit he has. Talk about let it be. That's so manly that I feel pathetic for being anxious.
じゃあなんだ、あんたは琴峰がいないのに契約が続いているって状況を解明しようと思わないのか？
ああ、無理して調べる気はねえべさ。向こうから何も言ってこねえ限り気ままに過ごさせてもらうだけよ。
それは聖杯戦争についてもか？戦いが再開したことはあんたも感じているんだろう。
ああ、それね。確かにサーバントを倒さなければいけないなんて衝動なら湧いてきてるが、それだけだ。俺は中立ってところだな。あまり乗り気はしねえが、やるってんなら相手になるさ。
Lancer isn't lying. As aggressive as I thought he was, he seems downright negative about these circumstances. Come to think of it, I even said it myself. Lancer, even more so than Saber, is already adapted to life in this town. In other words, he's enjoying his life here.
そっか。ランサーにとっちゃもうセイバーもライダーも身内だもんな。自分から殺し合うことはないんだ。
わけねえだろう。サーバントは全員敵だぜ。
What's up?
You want me to save all these space-time vortexes till after your stream?
Sure. He replies right away. It's the same cool-headedness I saw when he killed me half a year back.
なんでだ。あんた誰とでも仲いいじゃないか。なのにみんな敵だっていうのか。
バカ。それとこれとは話は別だ。敵でも好きなやつは好きでいいんだよ。敵だから憎まなくちゃいけねえ理由なんてねえんだから。
My jaw drops. Every time I'm astonished by this man's piercing attitude, but when he takes it this far, I can't help but feel that his tolerance is on a whole different level.
参った。すごいな、あんた。
You should see me in bed.
小僧に褒められても嬉しかねえや。話はこれでしまいか。なら釣りに戻るぞ。そろそろ当たりが来る気配だ。
With that, Lancer went back to fishing as if nothing happened. Satisfied with the information acquired, I leave the harbor.
あ、けどそれって。
Lancer said there was no need to hate an enemy. The battle and emotion are separate from each other. But if you look at it from the other way around, he was saying that it doesn't matter if the enemy is a relative or a lover. As long as they're an enemy, they will be killed indiscriminately. Oof. It's just after 9 p.m. and dinner's already over. There are no major events and everyone returned to their rooms. It's too early to go to bed, so what should I do in the meantime? Yeah, let's just call it a day because we're getting through these ones. got Sakura. Sakura or school? Enobe. This will probably be the last one I do, so make it count. What, baby? Yeah, we do. Are you kidding me? You have a whole bowl of rice. You've got an entire soup. You've got old pasta. What? Your noodle soup? It hasn't been that old. No. Sakura, school, Sakura, school, Sakura, Sakura, school. Best wife, Sakura, 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 school. I think Sakura won. Too late. Let's go talk to Sakura about lunch. It's a big household. It's much easier to get it rolling with 2 people. If you claim that stuff's bad, you gotta throw it out right now.
No.
Then eat it.
No.
Then I'm gonna unplug your computer.
If you do, I will do something very drastic.
See, now you're being immature.
You said you were gonna unplug my computer.
I know. You need to go and be responsible for your foods.
No.
Yes?
Now I'm being immature.
You're a big baby. Normally, Sakura lives at the Mato residence, but she stays here for weekends and holidays. Ryder and Saber prefer the Japanese-style rooms in the main wing, while Sakura and Tosaka took a liking to the detached western rooms. Add to this Fujine and Ilya, who come over for meals, and you could say that the Emiya residence has experienced explosive population growth.
Whoa.
That's because we fuck like bunnies. Are you there? Oh, oops. Who's the husbando in the background? What are you talking about? I got a waifu. Oh, I have got a wife and a friend.
Are you trying to imply that Ari's not a waifu?
Well, I consider waifu fictional. So it is okay or not?
Okay, this is not...
Is it okay or not? The reply isn't all clear. Does this okay mean yes, come in, or maybe okay, hold on? If I bothered her at a wrong time, wouldn't it be better to come back later?
おい、忙しいなら後にするけど。
そんなことはありません。はい、どうぞ。
Sakura was stroking her velvety loins.
それじゃあ、お
Oh,
邪魔します。
senpai! Shit. Should you just walk in? She wouldn't mind.
お待たせしました。
No. She's still got the same room, though.
どんなご用ですか？
その昼の相談に来たんだ。ちょっと早いけど、早めに来ればさくらとのんびりできるかと思って。
それはありがとうございます。
いや、お礼を言われるようなことじゃないけど。
Her shyness is contagious. How embarrassing. Even though I should have gotten used to it by now, it still feels awkward when the 2 of us are alone.
はい。それじゃあ、ゆっくりくつろいでいってください、先輩。
悪い。なんか立て込んでたみたいだけど。
Medusa's tending to her master. Oh my.
違うんです。
That'll be a little
ちょ
later.
っと二度寝しちゃって。でもですね、先輩のおかげで目が覚めましたから、ぐうだらさんにならずに済みました。その意味でありがとうございましたというのはどうでしょうか。
ああ、そういうことか。なら遠慮なく。
If she puts it like that, there's no reason to refuse. I sit down, smelling the barely noticeable sweet fragrance in the air. Oh, is this a perfume or herb of some kind?
別に冷房も暖房も。
いえ、先輩も香りに気がついたみたいで、少しフレグランスを使ったんですけど。
So it was perfume after all. I can't make out the brand, but it certainly does smell nice. I see. So even Sakura.
そのちょっとつけた方がいいかなって。
いや、まあ似合うと思う。遠坂の場合は変な薬の匂いをごまかすためにつけてるけど、さくらは違うんだろ。
私は見よう見まねです。姉さんはいろいろやってますから大変ですよ。
Really? Do sisters teach each other about makeup too? Good to know they're getting along well.
なるほど。けど俺には似合わない話かな。さくらと遠坂がしてる分には聞いてて華やかだけど。
It smells like worms and parasites.
そうですか？
No.
男性でもコロンとかちゃんと使うと素敵ですよ。
But some men use cologne too, isn't it lovely? Indeed. I use a fragrance called Sex Panther.
つけたらセイバーやミスリあたりに男が香水臭いなんてダジャクだと怒られそうだ。
It works 80% of the time, every time.
三辻先輩は怒りそうですね。三辻先輩のこと神格化してますから。でも似合うと思いますよ。ライダーもちゃんと専用のにしたいんですけどね。あんまり気を使わないからな。
Okay.
いろいろ大変だな。しかし
Inside Sakura's room, I couldn't help but thinking back. Once I started chatting with Sakura, I thought about everyone staying here.
増えたな。この家も住人が。
そうですよね。私がこっちにお邪魔するときには賑やかでいいなと思ったんですけど、ここまで増えるなんて思いませんでした。
Sakura lets out a laugh. That's right. Only Sakura and Fujine know what the Emiya household looked like before. So much has changed and so quickly. Should it be considered admirable or shocking?
誰か出かけるとあっという間に誰もいなくなる家だったな、ここも。
I nod in agreement. Fujine comes and goes, but doesn't live here. Sakura, too, was here for the mornings and evenings, but never had lunch with everyone like this. For a long time, I was the sole inhabitant here. I didn't consider myself lonely, but looking back now...
そうですね。
Now when I have sex, all the other girls are listening on the other side of the door. Can't wait for the saber bath scene. It's been over 2 years since. Back then, Sakura was a diligent girl that never smiled. With a brooding face, she came over and told me she wanted to help out.
そうだったか？桜の家も随分と広いけど。
Shirou's bath is actually fucking amazing looking.
いえ、先輩の家の広さと私の家の広さは違います。マトウの家は初めから人嫌いです。けど、ここの部屋たちはすごく満たされたがっていました。ライダーもこっちの方が落ち着いて喜んでくれましたし。
We need to make a bath when we own a house that's like the Love Hotel bath. Put a TV in the wall. That was fucking amazing. And the ambient lighting. Well, it was in the wall, it was like protected. Not on the wall.
みたいになったとか、分担するようになって掃除の手間が省けたかなとか思ってたけど。
We're watching High School DxD in the bathtub.
昔は大変でしたよね。先輩の家の大掃除。
Like the new season. He like pressed in a girl's nipple like it was a button and like activated some kind of magic or some shit. Laughing, Sakura recalls the past. There are a lot of vacant rooms even now, but nothing like the empty warehouse we used to have. A building without people, and it deteriorates all too quickly. Cleaning out the entire house used to be one huge task.
今年の年末の大掃除は随分楽ができそうだ。
Where did you get this? You mean the visual novel?
ライダーはお掃除得意ですよ。だから大船に乗ったつもりでドーン
And Sakura puffs with pride. Ryder likes to keep things neat and orderly, and what's more, has the brute strength for it. That's what she meant, probably.
しかし、昔みたいに静かなのが懐かしいと思ったことはないか?
Question just slipped out, somehow. For no other reason than just having thought about it on the spot.
先輩と二人っきりになれないのはちょっと残念かなって思います。
That's right. In the mornings before Fujine arrived, it was just the two of us, with Sakura often coming to the shed to wake me up. Kind of a pity. Does that mean she actually wants it to just be the two of us?
そうか。
I suddenly become flustered. She may have been like a younger sister in the past, but now that she's all grown up, the older brother's role has become quite complicated. Shirou, you're not an older brother. I end up staring at the bed, trying to look away. Damn, you're right. It did zoom in on the bed. I can't believe you knew that little detail. Shit, you've definitely played this before. I've played it like 3 times and I fucking forgot that. Then again, I'm always for Saber. I'm actually not much of a fan of DXD. Mutual agreement is reached with much excitement. Sakura seems to be putting on airs to hide her quickened pulse. Just the same as me, I guess.
Iや、そうでもないかな。昔は昔で今は今だし、いいところ悪いところは半々だろ。
No, that isn't right either. There aren't really any bad things about the present.
ですね。私ももっと賑やかでもいいかなって。
今度は誰が来るんだ？誰が？
Maybe Issei? Although I don't picture him coming down from the mountain and rolling in. But you never know, even Tosaka started coming over recently. Fate Grand Orgy. I'm not joking.
Not that good.
イリアは大変そうだ。
How dare you insult Fate Grand Orgy?
No, Fate Grand Orgy's not the same thing. That's not even real. That I'm aware of. And then something hits me.
しかし、どちらにしてもだ、さくら。人数が増えても減っても、我々台所組に対しての期待と責任は大きいからな。
I watched a little bit of that show. What about Heaven's Feel? The population growth failed to bring in reinforcements for the cooking ranks. No, perhaps there were too many cooks in the first place.
やっぱり腕の振るいがいがあります。
食欲の秋だしな、今は。
そうですね。まだまだ私に教えてくださいね、先輩。
As we were talking, my stomach started growling. Sounds about time.
さくら、昼食どうしようか。
台所に行ってから考えましょう。先輩と二人ならどんなお料理もできちゃいますから。
No, Fate Grand Orgasm is actually a thing. It's silly as shit. You can find it on Pornhub with some of the most, like, corny-ass acting possible. Silliest fight scenes. And then just them doing pretty average sex stuff.
そっか。じゃあ、他の昼食メンバーが誰か確かめてくるか。
No, this is not Heaven's Feel. We finished Heaven's Feel. This is Fate Hollow Ataraxia. I stand up and leave the room together with Sakura. There isn't much to add, just an ordinary morning. Easygoing and calm, nothing out of the ordinary. One warm day is rolling past. Alrighty. Thank you all for tuning in. Look forward to next week, in which I will be giving you a Goblin Slayer video. We will continue doing these weekend live streams, so I will not be streaming on Wednesday. That'll become a production day in its place. Thank you all so much. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe to OtakuDaiKun for more anime lists, reviews, discussions, lore videos, let's plays, and the Holy Waifu Wars. Until next time, celebrate your fandom.